Celebrating 10 years of award-winning car talk, it's the In Wheel Time Car Show today, coming to you from Studio A in Texas, USA. Right on. Just ahead, Richard Tomlin with a Mexico race and Pikes Peak updates, among other things. We'll take a look at the events calendar. Mr. Mars reviews the 2021 Mercedes-Benz G-Wagon 550. Dog, I can't believe that you got that car.
I couldn't either.
Why would they give that to you? Anyway.
That's the Kardashian of cars.
He's a G.
And that's perfect for him. Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
He's an OG.
We'll also get a Wheelchairs for Warriors car show update and talk with the Jeep folks about the new Wrangler 4xe. What? That and more just ahead on today's In Wheel Time Car Show. Howdy, along with Mike Out of This World Mars, King Conrad DeLong, Jeffrey Zekin. We'll get to him in just a minute. I'm Don Armstrong. Glad you could join us today. Thank you very much. You notice that there's somebody new on the set with us that's joining us.
Huh. I'll be darned.
And a backup. I needed to make sure sound was
right. Liar. So we walked into the studio this morning. We had to bring in all the equipment from our past remote thing. It seems like we've been gone out of the studio for weeks, but
We have.
we have 3 weeks to be exact. And so Mars said to me, we really need to bring Jeffrey Zekin up on the dais with us instead of over there in the corner. And I said, I couldn't agree more.
But we had to find a corner to keep him in.
I always fall back on nobody puts baby in the corner. But it's a new day.
Yeah,
Jeff is a new day. So it's good to have you here.
Thank you. And Conrad keeps touching me under the table. So.
Well,
Get used to it.
you're not by yourself. Look at that smile on his face.
I'm going to have a cigarette after this.
So howdy, along with Mike Out of This World, King Mars over there. Conrad there, Jeff here, Don here. Glad you could join us. It's been quite a week.
We are now the Four Stooges.
Yeah.
We are the Four Stooges.
We always were.
So this is our new going forward look from the studio. We've also added something to the studio. My old set of tires from the Corvette. And I didn't realize how bad the rear tires on the Corvette were. Last time we talked to Richard Tomlin, he says, come on, we'll take all the rubber off. Well, I didn't need to go down there because apparently Greg Enders did that for me before he sold the car. Mm-hmm. It's got, I don't know, it has no tread left, really.
your wear bars are at 230 seconds, and they're pretty much at the wear bar.
Yeah, it's toast. That's the rear tire. Right. This is the rear tire that you see up here. The one that's holding it up is the front tire, and it's full of race tire rubber that I picked up at Houston Motorsports Park when I was doing the pace car duties. And remind me not to do that again. I didn't realize the rubber that you pick up on the racetrack stays. You see the cars doing one of these numbers on the racetrack?
Scrape that stuff off.
Right.
And they did, apparently.
Well, no, it scraped it off, left it on the track for me to pick up on my front tires. The odd thing about it is there's none on the back tires because the front tires, I guess, picked it all up.
No,
I didn't burn up.
You burned them off.
No, I didn't. I've never.
He keeps saying that.
I have never lit the tires on the Corvette. Honest.
Really?
If I had done it, I'd been proud and said, yeah, I did it. But no, I didn't do it.
Well, if you ever watch at the end of like a Formula One race, all of a sudden all the cars drive offline, picking up rubber, because they'll pick up 100 pounds of rubber.
Yep.
And they're trying to add weight to the vehicle, so when it goes over the scales at the end, it's legal.
Seriously.
Oh,
There
absolutely.
you go. Yeah.
I had no clue.
Yeah,
Well, live and learn. Well, at any rate. Well, let's get on to our first guest of this live show.
And he probably doesn't worry about adding weight to his car.
No, I'm sure that he doesn't because he does the hot laps all the time, whether it's on the street or on the track. His name is Richard Tomlin. He owns a company called Apex Auto Works. And, Richard, it's always good to see you, sir. How are you?
Amazing. Good morning, all.
Well, I wouldn't go that far. Amazing. Maybe
you're
in your
good.
maybe in your own mind. Yeah.
Right?
But at any rate, hey, thanks for joining us. We appreciate it. Were you going to come to the shop today anyway?
Well, I walk to work each day because I'm blessed to live in Alvin, Texas, and my house sits about 30 yards in front of my shop, so I'm in the shop every day of the week.
Oh, okay. Well, that can be a blessing or a curse, as you know.
Curse.
Yeah,
That's a curse. Yeah, you
You
can't.
never really get away from work like that.
Well, not only that, but I mean, the toy box is in the backyard. You're going to go out there and play in it all the time.
Absolutely.
So,
I didn't do it.
I did it again.
yeah. So, Richard, what have you got? What do you got going on down there? Looks like you got lots of cars in the shop.
Yeah, we're loaded up as always, but I think the big news for us is we were getting ready to go to Chihuahua, which is our Mexico race.
That's Chihuahua, isn't it?
Yeah, Chihuahua for you.
Uh-huh.
And as we were getting packed up to leave for that race, we leave Tuesday morning for this race. We got a call from a local friend who has had some problems with his Viper and his Porsche to be able to go up Pikes Peak this year. And threw the gauntlet down of can you have your car ready in 9 days?
Oh, wow.
To head up Pikes Peak.
Your car?
As a replacement car.
So your car?
Yeah, so my car is actually going to be rented to a local driver to make the trip up Pikes Peak this year.
I thought you were going to take it up Pikes Peak.
Yeah, so it's just going back, but we were in a state of revision number 4 is what I call it on the car. So it's been a thrash of a couple 17, 18-hour days for the last 9, 10 days.
What have you been doing to it? Completely rebuilding it?
It was a complete rebuild. The secret to Pikes Peak, in my opinion, is two things. It's either turbos and displacement or lose the weight. Our car is basically down to 1,500 pounds now, and it's running a 472 cubic inch LS in it. So it should be
the Miata.
Okay. Yeah, it's a Miata. Everybody says it's not much of a Miata, but it's a lot of a Miata. Just people can't see it. But Pikes Peak, it's been around 1916 first race there. This is the 99th running of the race this year. Next year will be the 100-year anniversary. 12.43 miles up America's mountain, 156 turns. You get one shot at it. So once a year, you get to go up there and prove yourself and prove your vehicle.
Wait a minute, one shot. You don't get a test loop around it or nothing?
No, you never get to make a complete run at the mountain. They get us there Monday prior to the event. Monday is tech. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, you practice the race in thirds. So you'll do a lower section, you'll do a mid section, and a top section. The only time you get to run all of them together is race day.
Oh, wow.
I have no clue.
And now it's fully paved bottom to top. It wasn't originally. It was all dirt originally, and then, at some point they went up to
it's much, much faster now than it has ever been.
And what are they in the under 9 minute?
Their record is 750 something now.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, it's all manufacturers. This race goes from huge manufacturer to little bitty garage guys like me that show up and race. So it's
who usually wins, the garage guys or who usually wins, the garage guys or the big manufacturers?
Last year was a garage guy.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
that doesn't surprise me.
20-year veteran of the mountain.
Well, he's got a lot of laps on it then.
20 tries at least, right?
Yeah. Well, plus going up there during the off season, driving up and down just to kind of make sure he refreshes his memory.
What's interesting, my first year there, I said, well, yeah, the mountain's open, pay her $5, and we'll just keep going up and learning the route. You can learn part of it. The issue is the speed limit is 30 going up, like their max. Now I've been told it's 20, but there are people that are crawling along at 5 mile an hour, and you can't get any comparison to how fast that track is at speed. You really got to sit down and watch a bunch of videos. A lot of people play the simulators. They'll play at morning, lunch, night, 3 times a day, sit on the simulator just to keep themselves refreshed on the layout of the course. It's daunting.
Yeah, I've been up at, it was years ago with Aston. And I think it was paved up to the toll booth, and then it was dirt from the toll booth north. So it tells you
a long time ago.
How long ago that was, yeah.
That's at least 10 years ago.
Does anybody ever fall off the mountain still?
That would go back to Jeremy Foley was the last one to go off. We did lose Colin Dunn 2 years ago, motorcyclist that went off near the top. That's what changed the motorcycle rules to where no more motorcycles are racing up the mountain. Now it's just vehicles.
Just too dangerous.
It happens.
Well, the first one you mentioned was at the Mitsubishi, the guy out of Houston, and went off.
Yeah, he's actually at Dallas. Jeremy Foley and Yuri. Yuri's here in town. Yuri was navigating. That's another rule change, is they got rid of the navigators after that, because you reduce your risk exposure by half.
Okay. Huh. Yeah, it was a pretty scary off right there in, was it Devil's Playground? What do they call that?
Yep,
Rocky
Devil's
area?
Playground, where they went off.
And,
Absolutely.
I mean, you watch this car tumble hundreds of yards down the mountain, and these guys get out and start looking around to see how what's going on with the car.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't be able to, because my back would have been broken several times by the time I got to stop.
Yeah, but and I didn't realize they had a navigator. I don't know why I just never registered them. I think it's basically all right-hand turns, right?
Oh, no.
It was an option to have a navigator then. Now it's not even an option anymore.
So with that,
some people would take the weight penalty of having a navigator to help you get up the mountain. In my mind, it helps you be faster. It really does.
So would that have been a navigator, kind of like you see in rally racing,
exactly,
where the guy's telling you, hey, here, and they kind of throw a number in, brake 3, turn right 7, kind of the severity of the braking and the severity of the turns.
Yeah, so let me throw this out to you. Here's the easy way to think about it, is if we say it's a right turn, it'll be a right. And if we say it's a right 1, that means it's a first gear corner. If we say a right 5, it's a fifth gear corner. Very, very simple process.
So a right 5.
We say left 3, then it's a left third gear corner.
I would say a right 5 means hold on tight because we're going fast.
Bad things happen.
I can't believe that so they've got a turn that'll actually, you can take it that fast.
There are turns that you take that fast. And so understand that when they say turn, you might say it's a wiggle in the road, or a little bit of a bend in a road, and that's where those numbers come into play.
I got you.
Oh, okay. So
that's where the 156 number comes as well.
The 156.
So, yeah, for going up the mountain, they call it 156 turns.
Oh, okay.
For the 12 miles.
So does the navigator, or when there was a navigator, are they working out of a book or are they working out of memory?
At Pikes Peak, they put their own books together, and they call it recce. So you'd go up there a couple of days before, and you would sit down with your driver.
And
you would drive up the mountain, and you would make your notes for what you wanted, using landmarks or using distance. A lot of us use a tool called a TerraTrip, which basically is an odometer that's on the passenger side, very large screen, so you can actually see how far you're traveling, and you can timestamp braking zones. You can timestamp where the exact corner is, so you know what's coming up.
So do you use a navigator when you go to Mexico, to Chihuahua?
Yeah, navigators are required down there. I think you would die there without one. It is
That's good
Chihuahua.
to know.
The issue with Chihuahua is you're covering 1,273 miles in a foreign country in 3 days.
Oh my God!
400 of that you're just going as fast as you can. So unless you really, really know the back roads, you're not going to find your way without a navigator.
Are there actual roads? Because from what I have seen on TV, what they show sometimes, there's no road there. It's a road that somebody made in the off-road.
No, so so you're thinking of a different type. So this is based off of the La Carrera Panamericana. So the race that happened 48 through 54, and it was a celebration in Mexico of them completing their interstate system in the 50s, which was really a 2-lane highway, right? But it ran from Guatemala to Laredo. It's where road racing started. It's all on asphalt. Basically they will close off a section of road. They'll block off all the driveways. They'll line us up. They set a timestamp on a transponder, and they set us free. A car every minute gets released, and we race through. Away we go. So every fifth car is a doctor car. So you're taken care of, in theory, if anything really bad happens.
So
the Mexican doctor with the cheap pharmaceuticals.
Well, I'm wondering. So is the doctor car really try to keep up with the race?
They have a professional driver that drives the doctor car.
Oh my God!
Doctor's in the passenger seat.
Yeah, and
they are at a very brisk clip.
I was going to say, because otherwise you run off and leave them.
So isn't that where?
If you catch a driver's car, or a doctor car, it's pretty impressive. Doctor cars are no slouch. Inside the rule set of Chihuahua Express, you've got restrictions on power. You've got restrictions on weight of the car. The doctor's car has no restrictions, so they're able to keep up.
They can do whatever they want.
Isn't that where the ambulance chasing?
They're there. I've had them chasing me up a hill in a Miata one time. So the Miata is not the best car to have going uphill, just not enough displacement at 1.6 liters.
Okay.
So what do you take into Chihuahua?
Another Miata 1.8 supercharged, one we've had there every year for 7 years now, I believe.
How have you done in the past?
Highest we've been with that car is 10th overall.
Oh, wow.
It's won its class multiple times. We're looking for overall, break into the top 5 would be nice.
So it's no slouch?
No, not at all.
No, it's a 210 horsepower Miata, weighs 2,150, 2,100 pounds, depending on day of the week. Load 2 people up in it and fly.
That sounds like fun.
Two people in a Miata is pretty full.
Yeah, especially when you're my size.
I wasn't going to say it that way, but yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I mean, to be perfectly honest, put me and Conrad in the car and let's go race up a mountain. That's what we do.
Yeah, but I think I'd slow it down.
Nah, we'll be okay.
And then you need room for all the tequila you can bring back.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, that's pretty cool. And then how many do you guys have to reconnoiter that track as well?
So
Not
when you go
track,
to
but the
Chihuahua, they
streets.
actually provide a book for you.
Okay.
And it's this thick. Left pages are in Spanish, right pages are in English. So you're flipping one side or the other depending on which language you want. But there are a couple teams that go out and they provide recce for you. They'll sell you their notes that they created before the event. We've not been brave enough to buy a set of those yet. I guess you call us a little nervous, but I guess it was 3 years ago, when we placed 8th, the top 7 cars were all on the same recce notes. They were not on the sanctioning body's notes. So there is an advantage to their notes, but they're only in Spanish. So we've got to get them early and translate them to English to be able to go run.
There's a lot of ay in there.
A whole lot of challenges. But that's what makes this stuff fun. If it wasn't challenging, why would you do it?
Yeah, if it was easy,
I mean, look at
everybody
Pikes
would do
Peak.
it.
Yeah, who wants to race up Pikes Peak? Everybody says yes. Then you go drive up it, and there's people like, maybe I'm going to change my mind. I'm not going to do this. It's a daunting task, but men have conquered this mountain for years. It's you against Mother Nature.
Well, that's where the Unsers got their start. Pikes Peak.
Yeah.
The
a
Unser
bunch of Unser history up there.
Yeah.
They owned the mountain for years.
Yeah.
So next year, you said next year's the 100th anniversary of Pikes Peak?
Yep, 100th anniversary for Pikes Peak.
You going to run it?
Are you going to drive? Are you going to go? Or are you just still going to rent the car out?
This is Pikes Peak is one that my wife has told me I don't want you driving now. And it was when Yuri and Foley went off. I mean, we've known those two men 21, 22 years now. We knew them well and we're watching when all that happened. And that night, she's like, I just don't want you driving that mountain. So, okay.
Yes, ma'am.
That one's off the bucket list. I won't drive it. I've supported teams up there for 10 years now. We'll continue to do such and build cars for it. But I won't be one racing up that one. I'll stick with my Mexico stuff.
But they do a bazillion classes at Pikes Peak, though, don't they?
I don't know the actual count number. I would say there's probably 13 classes, maybe. It's actually not as many as you'd think. And the car count is down now, too. We're at about 70 cars that they're capping for the mountain.
Total.
They're really trying to focus on putting on a show now.
Okay. Are they doing the big trucks anymore? I know at one point they were doing tractor trailers.
Yeah,
Tractors.
they've usually got 2 to 3 trucks that show up, and they roll coal like nobody's business. 4 sequential turbos.
No.
And what, about 10,000, 12,000 pounds?
I don't remember the number, but it was into the 5 digits. It was like, what in the world?
How crazy
And the
is
first
that?
turbo, like you could stick your head inside the turbo. It was unreal.
That's way beyond me. It reminds me of a story about a radio chief engineer that I had in my early career that said to me, "Hey, Don, I need some help taking some equipment to the top of the tower." Okay, I'm good. I climbed a water tower. I figure I can climb a transmitter tower. So it turns out that the transmitter tower is down near Alvin, and it's the old Channel 11 tower when it was KGUL, when they were down in Galveston. So it wasn't real tall. It was built back in the 50s, and no big deal. But it did not have an elevator in it. The elevator had been long gone, so you had to climb it. And to get up to it, you went up, I don't know, probably 20, 30 feet to get to the platform to inside the tower. I got in there, and I'm all loaded up with all this equipment on my back, ready to go up there. I'm in my 20s, mind you.
Going, what the hell am I doing?
And I looked up, and I could not see the end of the tower. I said, nope, that's it. That's way too much for me. I cannot even imagine going up Pikes Peak at any time in my life, much less in a great big huge tractor trailer with turbos big enough to put your head in. No, that ain't happening.
Almost drifting as you come around the corners.
No.
It's a very cool drive as you go up, and it gets cold when you get up to the top. We were up there. I went up there with Austin. He was at the Olympic training grounds for water polo, and he had a day off, and we went and drove up and drove back down. And I bet you there was maybe a 40-degree temperature change from the bottom to the top. I mean,
easy.
Literally, you could watch the temperature drop as you were going up.
You could get altitude sickness as
and
well.
that's got to be an issue with the car as well.
Yeah, oxygen's got to get thin up there.
Yep.
I think
Some of the drivers actually run oxygen so they can actually breathe easier when they get to the top.
Oh, my God.
What's it, 14,006 or something? What's the
14,100 feet at the top.
Yeah.
You start the race at 9,600 feet. So you climb 5,000 feet. So there's a challenge there as far as keeping your car tuned would be the word we'd want.
Yeah.
Because you're getting less oxygen to the motor. So that's why a lot of people choose to use turbos and superchargers. We're normally aspirated on our car.
So how do you manage the air-fuel ratio on the LS as you get?
Computer takes care of 98% of that, and you just run it. Cool thing with the standalones is once you start it at that 9,600 feet, that's where it will actually set its tune to. So we're going to lose 15 to 20% of the power near the top of the mountain.
Richard, we love talking to you. Thank you so much for joining us today. We really appreciate it. And
always fun.
Yeah, be sure and get back with us now when you get back and give us all the details.
Absolutely. You do me a favor, though. Take that tire and turn it around. I want to see that you really burned the tread off of that tire.
I
don't know that I can believe that seeing the side of it.
It wasn't, I know. Well, it wasn't me, actually. It was Greg Enders.
Yeah. You did a pretty good job there.
Yeah, well, he's
did. He's blaming Greg Enders.
Yeah, that's what
Greg
he keeps
isn't here to
saying.
defend himself.
Right. That's exactly right. And if he's listening or
Very
watching
good.
this show, then he knows. He knows.
We all have a great day. I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have fun.
Appreciate it.
Yep. Hey, if you'd like to get in touch with us, please shoot us an email. The address is info@inwheeltime.com. Time now for the events calendar. And we've actually got an event that's coming up in next weekend, next Sunday.
Next
Sunday,
yeah.
June 13th.
Sunday.
2 to 6 p.m. at Bayway Chevrolet in Pearland off of 518. And it's going to be their first annual car show.
Wheelchairs for Warriors.
And we're going to participate, and we're actually going to
Record a show.
record a show from there.
Right. We're also going to give it to you live, but it's outside of our real broadcast window from 8 to 11 here Central Time on Saturdays. So we're going to record it. We'll play it back later. But if you come out there, come be sure and say hello to us.
Don will have hero cards, and he'll be signing autographs for everybody.
Lord, I will not. Anyway, continue on, please.
Kissing babies.
Just depending on how the weather holds out.
It's going to be great. We've had enough of
I'm
this.
talking about this weekend.
Oh.
Because, Nifty 50s is tonight in Grogan's Mill in the Woodlands, Akima Car Meet. Tomorrow is Cars and Cocktails at 5334 Washington Avenue from 12 to 4. And then Friday is Friday nights at Valley Ranch out in New Caney, which is kind of the intersection of 59 and Grand Parkway. And then June the 12th, Saturday, June the 12th, is going to be the 11th annual Shelby Car Show at the Star in Frisco.
Neat.
Okay.
So that should be a pretty cool event to go to. And then again, we're going to be at the Bayway Chevrolet's first annual car show, and that's Sunday the 13th from 2 to 6.
In Pearland.
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 And then Saturday, June the 19th from 11 to 2, Pictures with Race Cars, and that's going to be at the Chick-fil-A in Tomball, Texas, off of 2920.
Thank you, sir. Time now for this hour's car review. Mr. Mars has it. I don't even want to talk about it. It's the Mercedes-Benz G-Wagon 550. You just go.
Let me tell you, I was really excited to get this vehicle, but I did not realize exactly what it was. Because let me tell you, the first thing I ran into, I went to a drive-through in this vehicle, and the lady leans out and starts telling me the differences between the G-Wagon I was driving and the AMG version that she was looking at. I'm thinking, okay, I'm in the wrong business if she's looking at that.
She's in a drive-through window, and
Yes.
she's looking at an AMG.
Yeah. And then I take my wife to dinner one evening, and we're walking across the parking lot, and here comes this guy almost at a run because he wants to come and look at it because he's never seen one real. And then I go through another drive-through window, and the girl leans out. A young girl leans out. She says, "Can I look at it?" "Yeah." "Can I touch it?" And she reaches out and just puts her hand on it.
You were shirtless, right?
No, she just was trying. It was crazy the way people went after this vehicle.
Is a chick magnet.
I'm telling
Everybody
you.
thought you were a Kardashian.
Exactly. And this thing has only been in the U.S. since 2002. And this is the second gen. It's very square, very utilitarian-looking, tall design. It's been around for 40 years, but it hasn't been here that long. And I found out it was actually built in Austria. Is where this thing is built, and it's imported. And that's the reason you have such a weight on them. And it's got some really cool things, like you can get it in 34 exterior colors. And
what?
I'm just telling you.
Yeah, but just wait till you hear the price of it.
And
Go
the
ahead.
new this year is what they call the night package. Got a lot of black trim elements on it, the grille trim, headlight trim. And it's got the LED lighting system all across it. It's got Mercedes-Benz literally on the calipers of the brakes. Got a power tilt sunroof. Got color matched spare tire wheel cover, which is a full-size wheel hanging off the back end of this thing. And it's a 20s on the vehicle we had, so it's got a 20-inch spare. I mean, this is a big, massive vehicle, much like a lot of vehicles started out as a military-type vehicle and kind of grown into what consumers are buying. You get in on the interior, you got Napa leather seating, got a leather dashboard on this thing. You can get 54 different interior upholstery packages on this thing. Got a 12.3-inch digital instrumentation on it, got a 12.3-inch infotainment system on it. It's got with knobs that you can or touch it. You got a 15-speaker Burmeister audio system.
I know it.
Yeah, don't be touching my knobs, man.
Reach out and touch it.
And, it's got heated front and rear seats. The front seats have massaging on the...
Yes, of course. You don't even have to go there. We figured it was a massaging thing.
Yeah, and they work good. Now, to make this thing run, because this is a heavy vehicle, this thing weighs 5,500 pounds.
Oh, my God.
It's got a 4.0-liter V8 under it, and it sounds good.
Has it got an iron frame underneath it?
It's got, yes, because it's got three different transaxles. Three different trans boxes on it because of the off-road capability.
It's huge.
416 horsepower, 450 pound-feet of torque with a 9-speed automatic. This vehicle will tow 7,000 pounds when properly equipped. 0 to 60, 5.6 seconds in a 5,500-pound vehicle.
Not bad at all.
And it's really got, you get it out on the highway, it's really got this surprising ride on it because you're expecting this big, heavy-duty off-road vehicle. It's going to be rough. It's not. Particularly when you get this thing up some cruising speed out on Interstate 10, this thing will run just as good as it sounds. I'm just telling you. And it's got a great field of view. From the driver's perspective, you can see all around you, every place you're looking for. Now, I tried to look at something to compare this to. Kind of tough when you look at the history of this vehicle and stuff and the price. The best thing I could come up with is a 2021 Land Rover Range Rover autobiography version that has basically the same capabilities and things and could possibly match it as far as performance goes. Now, the price on that's $131,000. So the base G550 that you're going to get from Mercedes-Benz is going to be $131,750. However,
that's the stripped version,
that's the stripper version. However, we had a couple of options, including the black package and things. Our tag on our MSRP as tested, $156,270.
I'll take two.
And if you get the AMG version, I'm told it's about 50% higher if you can get it.
And people are waiting in line
They're waiting in line to get them.
Yeah, they're building Austria.
I'm just telling you, I was really impressed with this vehicle.
Now, isn't like the original history
time for questions.
of the G-Wagon was a military vehicle?
Yes, yes. Again, like the Hummer and some of the Jeep even.
Right.
They all started as a military type vehicle, and it's kept a lot of that styling tradition to
And then
it.
they
That
built
big
a
boxy
civilian
look.
version. Yeah.
And people are sucking them up like you wouldn't believe.
Hey, the In Wheel Time Car Show streams on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and InWheelTime.com. Podcasts available at your favorite podcast provider. The In Wheel Time Car Show continues right after this quick break. Well, yes. Actually, after this one.
Let me tell you about a locally owned and operated group of dealerships called Bayway. Bayway owner Daryl Wisniewski is born and raised right here, and he knows Houstonians better than anyone. Bayway Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram, Bayway Lincoln, and Bayway Chevrolet are managed by Lincoln Stahl. And when you get to know these guys, you'll want to become part of the Bayway family too. Feel good that you're part of Houstonian-owned Bayway Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram.com, BaywayChevrolet.com, and BaywayLincoln.com. Remember the name, Bayway. Tailpipes and Tacos is Houston's premier cruise-in, and you're invited to join in. Whether you're a cruiser or spectator, Tailpipes and Tacos is the place to enjoy made-to-order breakfast tacos, fresh coffee, and mingle with Houston's fun car people. Mark your calendar for Saturday, June 19th for Tailpipes and Tacos at the Lupe Tortilla Mexican Restaurant in Katy, 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. Tailpipes and Tacos is free and everyone is invited. You'll see collector cars, hot rods, customs, magnificent originals, and resto mods. Cars from all over Southeast Texas cruise in and show off in a friends and family event at the Lupe Tortilla Mexican Restaurant on the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard, just south of I-10 in Katy. Drag racer, car enthusiast, and Lupe founder Stan Holt brings you Houston's hottest cruise in, Tailpipes and Tacos, Saturday, June 19th, 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. at Lupe's in Katy. The In Wheel Time Car Show will be there too. Tailpipes and Tacos, Saturday morning, June 19th, 8 to 11 a.m. at Lupe's in Katy. Inside the Loop, visit Tailpipes and Tacos on the Southwest Freeway at Shepherd, weather permitting. You see all the new ceramic car wash cleaners on TV now, but John Gray at Gulf Coast Auto Shield has been using ceramic coatings on Houston's most expensive cars for years, and he'll tell you that nothing beats the real thing. Gulf Coast Auto Shield installs a coating over your paint that actually comes with a warranty. If you just picked up your Lambo, your Aston Martin, Porsche, Ferrari, any other exotic car, chances are your car will have company that have already found Gulf Coast Auto Shield. Now, you don't have to own an exotic. Maybe you got a truck, an SUV, or even an older vehicle that needs a little love. Well, let John Gray give it a look and give you an estimate on refurbishing that paint and making your vehicle look new again. How about getting a gift certificate for the wife's birthday or anniversary from Gulf Coast Auto Shield and tell her, honey, I know you love your car, so why don't we get it looking new again? It'll be the best gift ever, one that she'll never forget. Get hold of John Gray at gcautoshield.com or give him a call, 832-264-0670. Gulf Coast Auto Shield.
Celebrating 10 years of award-winning car talk, it's the In Wheel Time Car Show, your weekly go-to all things automotive place. Today, coming to you live from Studio A in Texas, USA. Thank you for joining us. Howdy, along with Mike out of this world Mars, King Conrad DeLong, Jeff Zekin. I'm Don Armstrong. Glad you could join us today. And right now, we are going to go direct and live to Lincoln Stahl, General Manager at Bayway Chevy and a bunch of other dealerships as well in the Bayway brand. Down in Pearland, Lincoln, it's good to see you. Good to talk to you. Thanks so much for joining us this morning.
Gentlemen, my pleasure. How are y'all doing?
Well, we're doing just great, and we're really excited about coming down there to the Chevy store in Pearland for Wheelchairs for Warriors. You know, we talked a few weeks ago. He says, Don, would you help me promote the Wheelchairs for Warriors? I said, gladly. Then I thought, you know, why don't we do a broadcast from down there?
Yeah.
Asked him. He says, yeah, come on. And so we're going to be there. It's a week from tomorrow, the 13th, down at the Bayway Chevy store in Pearland. And we're really excited about this. So how did this all come about, Lincoln?
You know, it's I went to people reach out to me a lot, you know, as a car dealership. As you guys know, a lot of us are pretty charitable, and they reach out to us and wanted us to help get behind an event that was going on in Pearland. So I showed up over at that event to just shake hands, and it was a big crawfish boil. So shake hands and eat some crawfish.
How'd your hands smell after the crawfish?
Yeah, exactly. I got a great wife that sits there and peels them for me.
Oh, there you go.
Anyhow, so I get over there, and it's an event for Wheelchairs for Warriors, and I'm a veteran myself. So I immediately, you know, seek out the veterans that there, and I'm, you know, talking to them and finding out, you know, where they were, what they did. You know, just sometimes those guys, just a friendly voice that, you know, is what they've been through is a good thing. So talking to him, introducing my son to him. My son's 7, introducing my son to him. We're all talking. I left this deal, and everybody at the place was so great as far as wanting to help these guys. And then after hearing their story and what they go through, and, you know, a little bit of a refresher, we all know, but sometimes you get a refresher from the guy that's going through the hardship, so to speak. And I literally left. It was a Saturday night. On Sunday, I literally sat there thinking, I got to do something to help. So I reached out to Crystal, who's the executive director for Wheelchairs for War. I said, hey, let's grab some lunch on Tuesday. We went and met for lunch on Tuesday. I said, hey, what I want to do is I want to have a car show. And I think we can, you know, get some cool cars together, and that's what we do. We're car guys, so that's how I can raise money, right? Let me get some cool cars together, and let's see if we can get the community to come together and get as much money together as we can to give directly to you, so you can help some of these heroes that have helped us.
Well, I will tell you that, we have been involved in a lot of charitable events through car shows and things of the sort. And I will tell you that I have been so impressed with this particular event, because every day I get notification through Facebook that there's somebody else that's come on board to help sponsor this, to back it. Now, and we're not even talking about necessarily the guys that are going to show cars there. We're talking about the community all over the United States. I mean, it's truly amazing. Don't you agree?
Yeah, it's been humbling, and it makes you. It kind of takes me back a little bit, and it's very humbling to see how many people want to help and get behind it. And the crazy part of it is, I don't feel like we gave ourselves enough time, but I wanted to get something going and get help to them quick, because I knew how many people were waiting, on wheelchairs. So June was kind of a funky month for us. The beginning of the month's hard in the car business, and then so I couldn't do it then. And then, the week after the event is Father's Day, and it would have been kind of cool to have a car show on Father's Day, but it takes some people out of the game also. So we kind of hurried along, and it just kept picking up steam as we went. And local businesses and local people, just people dropping off a $20 check and saying, hey, I want to help. And so it's like I said, it's a really humbling thing to me, and it really makes me feel good. When you hear a lot of the stories of, bad things going on in the world, to see so many good people still kind of coming together and wanting to help for a good cause, it makes you feel pretty dang good.
So let's talk about the actual car show aspect of it. Now, this is an event that actually starts at 2 o'clock and runs until 6. We're going on next Sunday, a week from tomorrow, on the 13th, and we're going to actually be broadcasting from there from 2 until 5. I know. Well, Mars is over there. He's
I know. I was
counting on
trying to
his
get
fingers.
my fingers out here.
Math is hard for Don.
Well,
we're going to do
stay till 5. You got to stay till 5, because we got an Air Force flyover at 4:30 that you can.
Well,
cool.
We'll definitely be there. So as far as the car show aspect of it, it's $30 per car, correct?
Yes, sir.
$30 per car. And I assume that you've got somebody running the gate and registering the cars and all of that sort of stuff.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
I think that we may have a little leg up on everybody in the fact that we got to be there at least by noon to start setting up for our broadcast. So I'm planning on bringing the Corvette down there.
Nice.
Did you?
I haven't got the car fixed.
What is there a problem? I mean,
me just getting out and doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you could hire somebody to do that.
I know.
So Conrad,
completely by chance, a few weeks ago, I bought a 1986 T-type Buick Regal.
Oh, cool.
And I'm kind of scrambling to get ready. I was driving on the road and saw the thing sitting on the side of the road with a for sale sign. I've been looking for a G-body car, and I went back and bought that car, and it's got 60,000 miles on it. So I'm scrambling to get just a couple little things done to make it presentable to get it out there. But I'm looking forward to getting that one up.
Yeah.
I keep thinking, okay, so are you going to take the entire lot of all of the cars that you have there at the Chevy store and move them off? Because I have a feeling that this event is going to be huge, and there's going to be guys lined up to get in there to show their cars. Don't you?
It's funny. I got people reaching. In fact, I got Pearland Fire Department texting me on my phone right now. They're going to bring a fire truck down for the kids to take pictures with and stuff. And I got guys, which is what I wanted. I got guys and ladies reaching out to me that don't necessarily have show cars per se, but they got cool cars. And they're wondering, can we bring our cars?
Absolutely.
So it's going to be a pretty cool thing. We'll have everything from car clubs to actual classic show cars there, to just the general public with, cool cars, bringing them down to help participate in the event. And you're right. I got a little anxiety about a week in. I woke up with a little anxiety, and I thought, this is going, it's going out of control. And I went from, we've had car shows in the past there before where we've cleared like one of the lots off, like behind the used car building. But I've essentially come to the I've come to the decision that we're going to clear every car off the lot and make room for people to be.
Because I truly believe that this thing has taken on a new set of running legs, and it's going to be crazy down there. And well, I mean, we're truly looking forward to it. Now, for spectators, it really doesn't cost anything to come in and look at the cars. Yeah,
not a thing.
But donations are welcome.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. That's kind of what it is. You know, we hope, like I said, you know, whatever you can afford, you know what I mean? And it's just one of those things. There'll be silent auction items there. We got t-shirts. Everybody that enters a vehicle will get we got some nice t-shirts. And I went out of my way to get a t-shirt made that people can actually wear after the event. It actually looks nice. Like it, you know, so everybody that enters a car will get a nice t-shirt. But we'll have t-shirts for sale, and there'll be food trucks down there. The food trucks have all committed to giving a portion of everything they get back to the event.
Nice.
You know, we'll have silent auction items. There'll be some live auction, some pretty cool live auction items that I'm pretty proud of that we got together. So it's going to be a cool event. And I think the big thing is, you know, like I said, just a community coming together. So there's some pretty good people in that community. It'd be nice for everybody to get down there, just shake hands and, you know, spend 6 hours and get away from reality for a little bit.
Well, that's it. That's right there.
And have fun.
Get away from the reality and actually have some time outdoors enjoying yourself.
Absolutely.
without the rain.
And they're
I look. Hey, and the 10-day forecast is available, and it says it's supposed to be sunny. So let's
Perfect.
knock on wood.
and there's some great cars stuffed away in garages in Pearland. Hopefully they'll all jump in and take them out for a drive.
These are for the wheelchairs for the veterans. Now, are there going to be any chairs there to show the folks what their value is for this?
So there'll definitely be at least one that I know of that I've met personally. He actually just received his chair the other day.
That's cool.
And he'll be at the event with us. He's a local guy. He actually lives in Deer Park, right behind our Dodge store. He'll be there, and he's a great kid. So I met him at the other event. So he'll be there, and they'll have a couple other folks there that have been beneficiaries of the chairs. The chairs are actually, they have to be custom made for these guys and gals.
Right.
So there's not necessarily an inventory together. They pretty much have a list of people who need them, and as they raise the money, then they have the money to go get these things custom made. Well, there'll be some heroes there for us to talk to and see what we've done.
So please tell everybody where the Chevy store is there in Pearland.
Sure, it's on Broadway Street. It's 5719 Broadway Street in Pearland. Real close to 35, where 35 and Broadway meet. It's pretty close to the train tracks there.
Yeah.
Like I said, we'll have there'll be signage showing people where to park. I understand how it is. I'm a car guy too, so I know guys aren't going to want to sit there with their cars running all day long or starting and stopping them. So we're the biggest challenge. I've thought a lot about how getting people in off that road and getting them parked and all that other good stuff. So we're not going to hold people up at the gate. You bring your car down, we'll get you right in, and we'll come around and get you registered and get your dash plaque and everything for you. We'll have 4 judges there. There is plaques that'll be passed out and handed out for the folks that are take this seriously and passionately. We'll have some plaques there to hand out also. So
very cool. Well, we're going to actually come down there and meet with Blake here at around lunchtime or so, and
yes,
get a.
I'm going to try my hardest to be. I'm at the Dodge store, and I'm going to try my hardest to be over there to meet you.
Okay, real good. Thanks so much. We look forward to seeing you a week from tomorrow down at the Chevy store at Bayway in Pearland. See you soon.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. You bet. That's Lincoln Stahl. He's the GM down there.
Richard Tomlin had posted on our Facebook page. He says that he is going to send his hand-controlled race car to the show.
Sweet.
And, they do the hands-on driving academy down there at MSR that's veteran-based. So he said he'd send his hand-controlled car up there.
Very nice. Very nice.
That was pretty cool.
Do we have Brandon?
I'm working on it. I got to switch systems here.
Oh, okay.
System
that's
switching.
right. That's exactly right. Because those fine folks at Stellantis don't do Zoom.
They got to do Google Meet.
They do, Google Meet, and so we got to make a little.
Give me just a second here.
Slight adjustment, but it's going to be a great event. I'm going to take the Corvette. I was going to try, and I'll talk to him later about this. I was going to try to get those, those spears on the side of my car. They're kind of like door edge guards, so
right.
in the parking lot. I'm going to try to get those removed, and I've got an emblem that I think that I'm going to take one of the emblems off of the Corvette because it's broken, and I'm going to put the one that I bought as a replacement on the front nose of it, but that's it. I want to do, a couple of little things, but I'm afraid to get the hairdryer out on that spear because they're all glued on.
Right.
I'm afraid to get the hairdryer out there and pull the paint off.
It won't pull the paint off. Get you some fishing line, strong fishing line as well, that you can get underneath and pull like you're cutting cheese.
Like a dental floss.
Like a dental floss.
Okay, yeah. I'm going to do that, and my luck, what it'll be, don't you? It'll be a mess when I get done.
It won't pull the paint off.
Okay. We ready, Mike?
Well, I got him. Well, I had him. He hit one
there
more
we go.
button.
He's there. He's gone.
I hit the extra button.
He's
I
back.
can't get him quite onto the full screen with this system.
That's okay. We can take what you got.
All right, so now we're going to go to Stellantis headquarters in
Dun, dun,
Ypsilanti,
dun.
Michigan. No, not Ypsilanti. It's going to be out there in Auburn Hills.
Auburn Hills.
And Brandon, is it Gurmis or Jermis?
It's Gurmis.
It's Gurmis. And Brandon is the expert on the Jeep 4xe. Now, wait just a minute. A 4xe, what in the world? We saw one, and it looked like it had some sort of an electrical plug kind of decal on the side of it. And I'm thinking, oh, this must be the new hybrid electric. Am I correct?
You're right. It is, this is our first electrified, first plug-in hybrid Jeep Wrangler. And I think it really kind of breaks everyone's perceptions of what a Wrangler is and what a Wrangler can be. Typically when you think of when people think of a Jeep Wrangler, I think they think of a vehicle that's guzzles a lot of gas and isn't very eco-friendly. But now here we are with the Wrangler 4xe plug-in hybrid, 21 miles of all electric range.
And off-road, 21 miles is quite a bit.
Yeah, the Rubicon Trail is 22 miles. So you can almost do the entire Rubicon Trail just on one charge.
So, Brandon, tell me about the power supply to this thing. I mean, what kind of gasoline engine does it have in it, and how it doesn't have one?
It does have a gasoline engine. So it's a hybrid powertrain layout. So we've got our 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine. That's the gas engine component. And then to back that up, we've got an electric motor that's powered by a 400-volt, 17-kilowatt-hour battery.
So does the internal combustion engine propel the vehicle, or does it drive a generator that charges the battery and then the electric motor propels the vehicle? How does that work?
Well, there are 3 modes that you can operate the Wrangler 4xe in. We've got our e-select modes. So the 3 modes are hybrid, e-save, and then electric. So in electric mode, the vehicle is purely going to be powered by that electric motor and by the energy that's stored in that 17 kilowatt hour battery. And then in e-save, it's the gasoline engine that's actually going to be propelling the vehicle to conserve the battery. So let's say you want to go out and run a trail purely on electric mode just to get that added torque that you're going to get from the electric motor. So you can put the vehicle into e-save and then go out to the trail purely using the internal combustion gas engine. And then once you get to the trail, then you can switch over to electric. And then the 3rd mode is hybrid. And there the vehicle is going to basically optimize between use of the internal combustion engine as well as the electric motor, just to give the driver the best possible fuel economy as well as the best performance.
Does it use both the gasoline engine and the electric motor at the same time if called for?
It can, but most times it's going to be using one or the other.
Gotcha. So if you really, are in a tight squeeze and you're going up, some 45-degree angle trying to get up some mountain, there's a chance that it's going to use both.
Depending on what mode you're in, right? I mean, if you're, like I said, if you're in electric mode, it's purely going to be using that electric motor.
Yeah.
And that's going to be where it's going to probably deliver the best torque. Controllable torque is in the electric mode versus the gas engine mode, which the torque is going to be variable on your,
correct, just based on the RPM and all that. But Yeah, with electric mode, 470 pound-feet of torque. And obviously that torque is all right off idle. Just it's instantaneous, which is fantastic. Right. Typically when you're in certain off-road situations with an internal combustion engine, you've got to kind of rev the engine up a little just to kind of get in that power band to get that maximum torque for climbing up a really steep grade. But with electric, you don't really have to do that. You can just kind of tap the accelerator a little bit and you just shoot right up.
So does the 2-liter turbo, is that the same one that's available in the other Jeep products and just modified to go to the hybrid mode that's in the 4E?
We've used it on Wrangler before. So when we first launched the 2-liter in Wrangler, we had the 2-liter e-torque. And so that actually has, it's called a motor generator unit that's located on the front accessory drive.
Kind of gives you a little boost.
So it'll give a little bit of electric boost, and that helps overcome the typical turbo lag that you get in a turbocharged engine. Currently in Wrangler, with just an internal combustion engine, it's just a 2-liter ESS without that e-torque system. But the 2-liter powertrain that's in the Wrangler 4xe, it does have that added e-torque boost.
Oh, wow.
So really, I mean, when you think about it, with 4xe, not only do you have, that one big 2-liter turbocharged engine, but then you've also got 2 electric motors. You've got the motor generator unit on the actual engine itself, and then you've got the big electric motor behind the engine, between the engine and the transmission.
Pretty high tech.
It is. It's our most technically advanced Wrangler ever. It's pretty amazing. But what I love most about the Wrangler 4xe is, even though you've got the benefits of the electric powertrain, you've got the 21 miles of all electric range, very eco-friendly, it's still a very capable Wrangler. So our engineering team did a ton of testing, a ton of development work to make sure that every single one of those electrical connections, and there are quite a few of them, are completely sealed. So Wrangler 4xe can still ford through 30 inches of water. You can still go tackle rock crawling on the Rubicon Trail. I mean, it's still very much a traditional Wrangler in terms of its capability.
And I assume that it is an automatic transmission. How many gears does it have?
It is our 8-speed automatic transmission.
Okay.
One of the things I was wondering about, you talked about switching between the gasoline engine and the electric motor, that you could do either one. How is that? Literally just flipping a switch? So if I'm in the middle of going up a hill and decide, well, I need a little more juice, I can flip a switch? Or
there's going to be a 1 to 2 second delay. It's not completely instantaneous, but it is very quick and it's very easy. And there are those 3 buttons for the e-select modes. They're located just to the left of the steering wheel, so they're very accessible, and it is pretty easy to switch between them. So for example, when I was out in Moab back in March for the Easter Jeep Safari, we were out running fins and things and Hell's Revenge, and there were a few times I was, kind of switching back and forth between the different modes. When you're out in Moab, you've kind of got these stretches of sandy washes or kind of sandy 2-track between your actual rock climbing. So in those in-between sandy wash sections, I would actually switch my Wrangler 4xe that I was driving over to the e-save mode and use the electric or the internal combustion engine for that. And then once I got to the obstacles and to some of the rock crawling, the steep slick rock climbs, then I would switch it back into electric mode to really get the benefit of all that torque.
So you're managing your battery supply, if you will.
Brandon, is the vehicle being built already? Is it available at the dealerships?
It's being built right now. It's available at dealerships. We just completed our 2nd full month of sales. And I'm happy to report that for the month of May, Wrangler 4xe was the best-selling plug-in hybrid vehicle in America.
That doesn't surprise me. So what is the base price on this?
We've got 3 trim levels for Wrangler 4xe. We've got Wrangler 4xe Sahara, which starts at $49,805. Then we've got 4xe Rubicon, which starts at $53,505. And then rounding out the lineup, we have 4xe High Altitude, which starts at $55,380.
Very nice. Listen, thanks so much for joining us today. It's great to learn about the Jeep 4xe, and we appreciate all of the details and hope to talk with you again soon.
All right, sounds good. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
All right,
cool.
We'd love to hear from you. Just shoot us an email. Our address here is info@inwheeltime.com. Time now for a few headlines. I'd like to do our recalls of the week. The engine control module is calibrated incorrectly on the Chevrolet Silverado 6500 HD. So they're recalling that, and pretty much every Porsche Panamera from the 2021 model year, that's being recalled, as well as the Taycan, and the front lower trailing arms were not forged correctly.
Oops. Forged in fire.
Apparently. A fuel pump module can fail and cause a stall in the Infiniti QX80 and the Armada for 2021. Ford Transit Connect. Unintentional rollaway due to a detached shift cable in the 2013 through 2021 model. And thank you, Ford, for driver seatbelt assembly malfunction, Ford Edge for 2021. Go to safercar.gov to get all the details, and then you can call your dealer and get yourself an appointment to get it in. Also, amid record low stockpiles, Ford Motors May sales rose 4.1%, while Hyundai and Kia set monthly records as the market continued to roar back on demand for light trucks and some cars. Toyota Motor volume jumped 47%.
What?
Wow. Automakers that reported monthly results on Wednesday chalked up increases in the 40, 50, 60, and 70% range from pandemic-strapped totals a year earlier. So
I heard GM's going to increase production of cars and trucks as the chip shortage is starting to wane.
Well, that's what they say. They've just gotten some. They went to Walmart and bought some because,
Some Lay's.
And Pringles.
Yeah, some Pringles.
I wonder if they got wavy or no.
They're too greasy.
Yeah.
You need salt, sea salt.
Salt and vinegar.
There you go.
Yeah,
And I'm going to get into this next story. Maybe I'll do this at the top of the hour. It's a comparison between the Mustang Mach-E
Oh, boy.
and the Mustang car.
Oh, boy.
And boy, I got hot when I read this story.
really.
So I got
Like hot, like
I got
or
pulled.
No, like, tss.
I got pulled over Wednesday.
No surprise. Doing what? 100?
No, by a game warden. He gave me a ticket for driving in the rain without a life vest. No, it's a long way for a bad joke.
Yeah, really. I was going to say, man. I was
Usually
expecting
they're better.
more.
We did a lot of-
Usually they're
Yeah,
better.
we were looking for a lot more than that, but thank you for sharing. We appreciate it. Time now for a quick break. We'll be right back after this break, right here on the In Wheel Time Car Show. Stay with us.
Houstonian-owned Bayway.
Oh, let me do that again.
Okay.
Houstonian-owned Bayway Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has the most sought-after models in the Houston area today. When you're in the market for a new or used vehicle, you now have a place to go. General Manager Lincoln Stahl guarantees Bayway will beat any competitor's written price on the new vehicle you choose or pay you $1,000. Bayway Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is easy to get to on Highway 225 near Beltway 8 in Pasadena. Whether it's online or in person, you're welcome like one of the family. Bayway Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram.com. Tailpipes and Tacos is Houston's premier cruise-in, and you're invited to join in. Whether you're a cruiser or spectator, Tailpipes and Tacos is the place to enjoy made-to-order breakfast tacos, fresh coffee, and mingle with Houston's fun car people. Mark your calendar for Saturday, June 19th for Tailpipes and Tacos at the Lupe Tortilla Mexican Restaurant in Katy, 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. Tailpipes and Tacos is free and everyone is invited. You'll see collector cars, hot rods, customs, magnificent originals, and resto mods. Cars from all over Southeast Texas cruise in and show off in a friends and family event at the Lupe Tortilla Mexican Restaurant on the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard, just south of I-10 in Katy. Drag racer, car enthusiast, and Lupe founder Stan Holt brings you Houston's hottest cruise in, Tailpipes and Tacos, Saturday, June 19th, 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. at Lupe's in Katy. The In Wheel Time Car Show will be there too. Tailpipes and Tacos, Saturday morning, June 19th, 8 to 11 a.m. at Lupe's in Katy. Inside the Loop, visit Tailpipes and Tacos on the Southwest Freeway at Shepherd, weather permitting. You see all the new ceramic car wash cleaners on TV now, but John Gray at Gulf Coast Auto Shield has been using ceramic coatings on Houston's most expensive cars for years, and he'll tell you that nothing beats the real thing. Gulf Coast Auto Shield installs a coating over your paint that actually comes with a warranty. If you just picked up your Lambo, your Aston Martin, Porsche, Ferrari, any other exotic car, chances are your car will have company that have already found Gulf Coast Auto Shield. Now, you don't have to own an exotic. Maybe you got a truck, an SUV, or even an older vehicle that needs a little love. Well, let John Gray give it a look and give you an estimate on refurbishing that paint and making your vehicle look new again. How about getting a gift certificate for the wife's birthday or anniversary from Gulf Coast Auto Shield and tell her, honey, I know you love your car, so why don't we get it looking new again? It'll be the best gift ever, one that she'll never forget. Get hold of John Gray at gcautoshield.com or give him a call, 832-264-0670. Gulf Coast Auto Shield.
From Studio A in Texas, USA, it's the award-winning car talk show In Wheel Time. Just ahead, the John Gray from Gulf Coast Auto Shield. Summer paint protection is what we're going to kind of focus on, along with other stuff that you'll really enjoy, I promise you. We'll review our featured car of the week, the 2021 Cadillac CT5V.
Alrighty, yeah.
We've got your weekly cruise-in calendar. Conrad has This Week in Auto History, and we'll have the stories making auto news headlines. That and more just ahead on today's In Wheel Time Car Show. Thanks so much for joining us. Howdy, along with Mike Out of This World Mars, King Conrad DeLong, and Jeffrey Zekin. I'm Don Armstrong. Notice that Jeff is in the corner here with us now, and this is going to be a permanent fixture because Mike decided this morning that we needed to bring Jeff into
more Jeff.
We need more Jeff.
Yeah, we always do.
And I wanted Jeff close enough to me I could rub his knees.
Let me try that.
Hey.
I wanted to do this story. Hold on, John. I got to do this story. So, what kind of story is this? Okay?
With you,
the only thing that the Mustang car and the SUV Mustang Mach-E share is the Mustang name. There is no other connection, none. They're not married, other than the name. That's it. So who assigned this story, and how do you stretch that to say, oh, well, the new Mustang Mach-E is outselling the Mustang car? That's like selling apples over here and oranges over here. No, it doesn't work. So here's the story. Mustang, passed a significant milestone in its conversion to electric vehicles, producing more battery-powered Mustangs so far this year than gasoline-fueled versions of its iconic pony car. That's a story? Mm-hmm. That's not a story.
Fake news.
Ford has built 27,816 electric Mustang Mach-E models at a plant in Mexico this year, compared to 26,089 copies of the traditional internal combustion engine Mustang automobile at a factory in Michigan, according to production data the automaker released on Thursday.
Made in America wins.
The global computer chip shortage hobbling the auto industry played a role in the Mach-E surpassing the traditional Mustang. Mr. Farley, who is the president of Ford Motor Company, said the company is prioritizing its newest models, such as the Mach-E and the Bronco SUV, as it distributes its scarce supply of semiconductor modules. Ford's Flat Rock, Michigan factory built no gas Mustangs last month because they don't have enough chips for that.
Say that kind of helped.
According to the production data. And it also helped in the lack of sales in the Mustang automobile. Hey, Ford Motor Company, all you fine folks in the marketing department. Go now. That was an automotive news story, and I ain't buying that. Sorry. Guess I've been in the news business too long, huh? Bitter old man I am.
Yes, you are.
Yeah, bitter too.
Bitter too, as well. All right.
Peanut bitter.
Pardon?
He just nibbled.
Peanut bitter.
Time now to switch gears, so to speak, and let's go down to the Gulf Coast Auto Shield factory, right down on 5969, the Southwest Freeway near Bissonnette, and speak with President, General Manager, Owner, and Chief Potentate, Mr. John Gray. Johnny, good morning.
Good morning, boys. How are y'all?
Well, we're doing fine. You know, we noticed while you were away that the liquor cabinet that was on the wall
shelf.
behind
Where's
you,
the
the
shelf?
shelf,
Yeah.
is gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you drink it all?
Remodeling?
No, we're about to, actually we're about to move.
What?
And yeah, we got a place over on the Beltway, 11275 South Sam Houston Parkway West, which is really close to where we are
Say that
now.
slower. We got to write that down.
Say it again.
11275 South Sam Houston Parkway West.
And I am really, really hopeful for you that you've at least doubled the square footage.
We didn't double it, but what we did, we've got pretty much unlimited secured parking there, and that's really gonna help us a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Our neighbors are really tired of us here in their parking lots and stuff. So
Yeah, well,
it's really nice facility we've got.
Well,
We're just waiting. The whole shop is going to be the checkerboard race deck, and that was actually delivered on Friday. So I think probably 2 weeks from this weekend we should be making it happen. But as far as the bourbon goes, yeah, that made an early run over there for security.
So you are taking you are taking it with you. That's good.
yeah. So yeah, I got
yeah.
that. So when what is it? You got some flies in there?
Got a mosquito, man.
Yeah, you
Things
and
are terrible.
everybody else. Yeah, we do too. So I was telling the boys earlier because we had an interview with Lincoln Stahl down at the Chevy store in Pearland, where there's going to be a car show next weekend. That I really want to get those door edge guards off of my Corvette. You know, those spears that run down the side of the body across the doors.
That just take a couple minutes if you bring it by.
Really?
Oh,
That's what he
Wrong
was
thing to
hoping
tell him.
for.
Oh boy.
That's what I was looking for, and I also
Yeah,
want you to look at the emblems and help me with that too. That's all this stuff is glued on, and it'd be my luck that if I tried to tackle this by myself, because I'm such a dummy, that I would wind up peeling the paint off or ruining something.
and you want to put that Mack Bulldog on the front hood.
I do not want. Yeah, the Mack Bulldog.
No,
Yeah.
or the singing lady head that you see in the commercial.
That's
you know,
off of that's Conrad sent that to me. That's off like a 35 Cadillac.
Yeah, that would look good up there if you could make it get the voice to go along with it.
No. So, John, when would be a good time for me to stop by there?
Well, we're ending the show right now.
Any day next week. I'll be around all week.
All right. Well, obviously,
what are your operating hours?
Obviously, it'll be early in the morning.
Well, we're open 9 to 6, but I get to work 6:30, 7 o'clock every morning.
I won't be there that early, but I'm thinking.
No, you won't.
No, but I'm thinking that I will be there like 9 o'clock. Is that okay?
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Come on.
And don't worry about the fact that they're moving, Todd. Yeah. You're way more important than their moving schedule is.
Yeah.
Well, he
Don,
just
did you get a new car cover?
I did.
He did.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, they can all attest to that, and it's out there doing its job, and it's really nice.
It's holding all the moisture underneath the cover.
It is
I'm
not.
sure.
Thank you very much. No, I actually bought a really nice one from Car Covers Inc. Online, and it
looks good.
And it's much better one than the one thing that I had.
We actually had him on the show a while ago.
No, that wasn't Car Covers.
No, that was the one that failed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I didn't rebuy that thing.
Not the one we had.
So, John, that's not the reason that we called. We called because we wanted to talk to you about summer paint protection. And listen, I can attest to the fact of what a toll the sunshine plays on any kind of paint, and especially under the trees that I've got hanging over my driveway.
And the birds in the trees.
Yeah, the birds and everything that's in the trees. So help us here. Obviously, a car cover is good if you're not going to put it in the garage, but it also helps, I think, to have a coating on there, don't you?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So if you get the right coatings, that SiO2, like you were just talking a few minutes ago about some of these SiO2 coatings that you can buy that are in these detail sprays and whatnot. Heck, they're better than nothing. But they don't have much pH resistant, and coatings with really high pH resistance are going to be what's going to help you avoid all of the paint stains and damage from environmental impact, bird poop, water spotting, things like that. So yeah, all of our coatings that we offer are what is called heavy solids, and they're very, very high pH resistance. And they are going to act as a sacrificial layer. It's possible that coating may stain, but we're going to be able to get that out very, very easily back here at the shop. But it is going to save your paint from any kind of permanent damage, from any kind of environmental impact.
Well, I certainly saddled you with the job last time I brought the Corvette in there after the bird poop stains that were only on the car for, maybe 6-8 hours before I brought it to you. And that took some work to get that fixed.
Well, yeah, and that combined with the fact that you had it under that car cover and there was moisture under that car cover, that was drying in that environment, and that's really what caused the problem on that car. Was the fact that car cover was on there with moisture underneath it, and it just couldn't breathe and it couldn't dry properly, and it can cause a real problem. For instance, you see at body shops, there will be, they use this clear wrap to protect the car from overspray and whatnot. Well, if you get moisture under one of these clear wraps and it's allowed to dry, it will actually get into the clear coat on the car, and it can be extremely difficult to get out these stains. And that's exactly what happened with your car.
So is it actually a stain in the clear coat from the residue in the water, or is it the clear coat's etched from the pH?
Yeah.
It's the pH that gets in there and causes the problems.
So
it's very, very difficult. So anytime we use any one of those, any type of protection on top of a car from the standpoint of protecting it from something that we're doing out here in our shop, and you got to make sure that car is perfectly dry, because if it gets locked in there and dries on the car, it is extremely difficult to get off.
I'm glad that you said that, because I was talking to Jeff, who's going to help me. I'm going to buy a kind of like a pop-up tent, but something a little bit more solid than that, because I don't have a garage to put the car in, but at least it will keep all of that stuff hopefully off of it with whatever it blows in. I can't really do much about that, but at least it'll be a second layer of protection. And unfortunately, the pop-up tents, they're just not sturdy enough for all the rain that we get around here. I don't need it collapsing on top of the car, so I've got to buy something a little bit more sturdy, but that's what I'm going to do.
Get one of those inflatable
tents. One of those little cheap well, it's not a pop-up, but a metal garage, a temporary metal garage may be the key.
Yeah,
heck, Don, that's a nice enough car where you might want to look at a little bit of storage somewhere for it. I mean, that car's in fantastic condition. It is really nice.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I just bought some brand new tires for it. Got the front and rear end alignment on it. And it runs down the road really, really well.
Well, that's one of the nicer older Corvettes that we've gotten in here. The paint on it is in fantastic condition.
It has a loose nut behind the wheel, though.
That's the only thing.
There is the loose nut behind the wheel. So on this note as well, I wanted to talk to you about film on the windshield, sun protection, not on the windshield, but on. Well, yeah, I guess now you can actually put them on the windshield.
Yeah, they do.
And we briefly talked about that the last time that we had you on the air with us. Tell us about coatings on the windshield and on the side glass.
Well, window tint is the technology in window tint is really, really incredible. And when you're looking at a window tint, of course, you want to look at the warranty. But number two, you want to look at what kind of IR rejection it has. And make sure that you're going to buy a window tint. There's no real standard for window tint as far as rating the heat rejection across the country. But you want to look at a reputable company that is going to measure the IR rejection on a full wavelength, not just a selective wavelength. So having said that, we have a nearly clear film that between 92 and 94% IR rejection on a windshield, and man, you want to talk about a game changer. That's the biggest thing you can do as far as eliminating and reducing the amount of heat in your car. Now, if you let a car, even with the windshield tint on the car, if you let a car sit out in the parking lot for a while, yeah, it's just the heat that radiates from the glass itself is going to make the car get hotter. But with the window film on there, number one, your car's going to cool down faster, and it's not going to be as hot when you get into it. So there are a lot of advantages to it. It's not the easiest film to install because it's a big glass, and it's the glass that you're looking through, all the time. So you need to my guys do an exceptional job of installing film on any car and any pane of glass, but they're really, really good on the windshields. Even on a Model X, we can install a Model X windshield, which is a massive windshield in one piece.
Wow.
And you want to talk about a car that gets hot. That is a car that gets hot in the summertime because of the size of the glass on that thing.
So much glass.
But another benefit is it helps with glare at night. Now, I'll tell you this: it is still frowned upon by the state of Texas, but done right, it is incredibly difficult to detect.
I'm just going to say you'd be hard pressed to know that it's on there.
Well,
Yes.
besides
Yeah.
just the heat management, won't it also save your interior plastic? Because, you look at,
Sure.
the Tahoe I'm driving right now, it's a 2012, and you can already see that the dash is all cracked from sun damage and stuff, and that's not an uncommon thing to happen.
No, especially on that car. Those cars, those older Tahoes had some real issues with those dashes, the dashboard cracking. But yes, anything that's going to reduce the heat and the UV that comes into the vehicle, obviously, is going to help a great deal with preserving the interior. So that's certainly another benefit to doing film on your car.
Yeah, and that's a small investment because, boy, putting a dash pad in that thing can run $1,000 plus.
Yeah.
Really, really expensive.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like I said, that's the number one game changer on reducing the heat in your vehicle. It just makes a tremendous difference. And both my daughters and my wife, they run around with it on their windshield, and that's the first thing I do when I get a car for them.
So what is the technology actually in the film that they use to reduce the IR penetration?
They've got, it's called nanotechnology. Of course, everything is nanotechnology these days, but it is small particles of heat rejecting matter that is infused between the layers of this dyed film. And that is what, not only there is absorbency and there's reflection, and the combination of those two is what makes this how they get a rating on the film from the standpoint of the IR rejection. So it's a combination of the thickness of the film, and it is a combination of the ceramic particles that they've got that is infused in the dye. That makes the biggest difference.
John, tell us about all of the different things that you do there at Gulf Coast Auto Shield.
Well, we do ceramic coatings. We paint protection film. We were XPEL Dealer of the Year for 2020. We were just awarded that. That's the 4th year in a row. So, in essence, the biggest XPEL dealer in the state on paint protection film. That's a real big deal for us. We do window tint, paint corrections. We just started doing some color changes on cars. That's not anything that we've done really a lot in the past. But we are starting to do some color changes. It's a funny story. My neighbor, guy I didn't even know, he lives a couple streets over for us. He found me and kind of found how I started my business, and he was operating out of his garage. And so while he held down a full-time job somewhere else, and we brought him in and kind of given him the same opportunity I was given over at Custom Car Stereo years and years ago. And so he's brought kind of a different dimension to the shop as far as being able to do some of the things that are very popular right now from the standpoint of changing colors on these cars.
When you say that, is it the wrapping of the vehicle?
Yeah, it's vinyl wrap, and it's really gotten popular. But not just on the full vehicle, but deleting chrome, things of that nature. You've got we've got a Model X out here that we did a little work to that I can show you here in a little while. But not only do we put a satin paint protection film on the car, so it's got satin paint instead. It wasn't a color change; it's just a texture change on it. But we also took the chrome and we made the chrome black instead of being, obviously instead of being reflective. And now it's a pretty cool look. It's something that's really popular.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of trucks. They're going to that blacked out or murdered look, like they like to call it. And they can buy some components black, like around the headlights and stuff. But that chrome bumper, they, instead of buying it or trying to paint it, they're going in and wrapping it because the paint won't hold.
Well, and it's cheaper.
I didn't know that.
Doing a color change on a car is far less expensive than a paint job, and it's changeable. You can pull it off. You can do a multitude of things with it. So it's not permanent in any way. So you damage it, it's not expensive to pull it off and swap it out.
John, let's go out in the shop and see what you got working out there.
Because you've always got fun toys out in the garage.
Well,
got a couple things.
Yeah, a couple things. He always has a couple things out there. It's always fun to walk through the shop and see what he's working on.
Let's see what we got. Here's a little Model Y that's we're in the final stages of curing this thing. Let me try to get this camera backed out here a little bit.
Curing? What do you mean curing?
Curing.
Well, we did a ceramic coating on it, and so see those are IR medium wave heaters, and so with these coatings, you have to purge the solvent out of them, kind of like it's an old school clear coat, and that's what does it the right way.
I see.
This is a self-healing coating on it, so it can you swirl the paint on it, and it will you can heal it from swirl marks and things of that. And you can scratch through it. I don't want to overstate its capabilities, but it is something that you put it on a car 5 years later, it's going to look better than the car that
sure.
So
that didn't get it. So
that's the Jimmy Swaggart coating. Be healed.
Be healed.
No,
that is, you know what? I need to incorporate that into my routine.
You can use that. You can use it, John.
That's nice.
Yeah, I figured it. All right. Let's move on.
I think I see the satin one next to you.
I do too.
Yeah. So this is satin paint protection film. This is the XPEL Stealth, 10-year warranty on it, and it's really a cool look, and it's a lot thicker than the vinyl, a little more expensive obviously, but it does offer the same protection as a regular paint protection film. This has a pretty cool look to it, and here is what I was telling you about as far as the chrome trim. Now all your Teslas come like this, but the older ones,
they were the bright trim.
They always had the bright trim on them.
Yep.
So that is just a satin film you put over black paint.
That's correct.
How simple is
now
that?
Now the C8 here.
Ooh.
Love the color.
That rapid blue looks good, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
We're getting a ton of these things, man. I mean, well over 20 now that we've worked on. A lot of paint protection film. Difficult car to work on, but pretty cool. You've seen one of these, I'm sure, out there.
Oh, yeah.
Shelby?
A Shelby truck.
Yeah, neat car. Pretty cool. We did this a while back. I think he had a little accident, so we
touching it up.
over my buddy's body shop had that thing repaired. Here's pretty neat car here, Aston Martin DB11.
Wow!
And you can see on here, see that film? That's paint protection film. But we do this hood in one piece. If you print a kit for it, it's going to give you 3 pieces, and we don't do it that way. We stretch it, and it ends up being without seams, and it's a much better look in the long run for the customer.
Very nice. Yes.
So do you when you talk about you stretch it, is that with heat as you expand and contract it?
Nope. We just stretch it. You don't want to use a bunch of heat on this stuff. Some people do. You just want to work with it and stretch it out so you don't have a bunch of marring and unnatural lines on it.
Neat.
All right, hey, check this out.
Oh, 914.
Is that not cool?
That is
And
cool.
the shape of this car is, hang on, let me get back to it and see it.
It's kind of like a Don Armstrong 20-year-old Corvette.
Corvair.
Man, I don't know what this thing's so old that it.
That's Don.
This thing is so old that the VIN number is like 7 digits. Seriously, I mean, but it's in great shape.
Yeah, it looks.
I mean, what a cool car.
You never see those cars anymore.
No.
So your whole staff
No.
is pretty excited about the move coming up in 3 weeks?
Yeah,
Everybody's
it's going to be
anxious?
great. It's going to be. I mean, this facility has served us well.
And then an R8.
You're bumper to bumper there in that shop.
You're always bumper to bumper.
Yeah,
Always.
Parking
go.
a car in your existing parking lot's like playing Jenga.
I know it's bad. It's bad.
And of
then
course the
we put
McLaren.
a built-in radar detector laser diffuser system in this car, and what can you say about this car?
So-
this is a monster.
When you say diffuser, is that like a reflectant for the radar detection, or is that an absorbent for the radar detection?
It sends a signal back to it and jams it.
That says.
Yep.
Nice.
It sends a signal back to it and jams it, and of course, that's also frowned upon.
And whose product is that?
We do a couple of different ones. The best laser jammers out there is Anti-Laser Priority, by far the best technology in the laser jamming world. And but we also will install, depending on your budget, we can do Redenzo Redenzo radar combined with ALP. We can do K40s. They have a system that's built in, and Escort has a system that's built in.
Nice.
Yeah, but when you own
Yeah.
a McLaren, I guess you want to get the best.
Yeah, no doubt about it. John, it's great to talk to you. Thanks so much for joining us today. And I'll be over there on Monday now.
Congratulations on the move. Hopefully you move before Monday and Don can't find you.
That's it.
And an open house. Need to have an open house.
Yeah, we
there.
need to have an open house over there.
Oh man, that'd be great. I'd love to have you guys out for something like that if you could.
Yeah, well, let's plan on it. John, thank you so much again, and good luck to you, and I'll see you on Monday, sir.
Good day, boys.
Good
Take
day.
care.
Yep, thank you. All right.
Yeah, so I posted his website up on our Facebook page.
That's very nice of you. Thank you very much. Hey, if you'd like to get in touch with us here at the In Wheel Time Car Show, shoot us an email. The address is info@inwheeltime.com. Okay, time now for the car review of the hour here on In Wheel Time. It's the 2021 Cadillac CT5V. Now, settle down, Jeff.
I'm excited.
I know this car replaced the CTS last year. It comes in several trim levels: the luxury, the premium luxury, the sport, and the V series. I had the V. This is a mid-size sedan assembled in Lansing, Michigan. Thought I'd throw that in there. Seats 5 passengers, all new last year, as I mentioned. The V gets a blacked-out mesh grille, top to bottom front lighting that I just absolutely adore on this car. It has the chin and trunk lid spoilers on it, rocker molding extensions with quad exhaust tips. It is a bad-to-the-bone looking car, and it's a Cadillac. What I liked about it, the overall menacing look of the V. You'll get the Black Wing V for 2022. That's coming.
That's the one.
Yep. And that's going to have the supercharged Corvette motor in it.
Be still, my heart.
Interior highlights, well laid out dash with carbon fiber accents, stand-up
That's gorgeous.
infotainment screen that it's easy to use, optional changeable instrument cluster, comfortable bucket seats, cargo trunk room, kind of small, but it is a mid-size car. What I liked about the comfort level, that's what I really liked about it. Very comfortable car to ride, to drive, and to compete against. Is there a problem over there?
Not anymore.
Okay. What could use improvement? A little more luxury feel. I do like the luxury part of the car. It has a 3-liter twin-turbo V6 that turns out 360 horsepower and 405 pound-feet of torque through a 10-speed automatic transmission.
Sweet.
Driving the rear wheels. 18 miles per gallon city, 27 highway for combined to 21. I got 22.3 over 397 miles. What I liked about the entire powertrain, power comes on seamlessly in this thing. What could use improvement? What's the Black Wing going to have? 668 horsepower with a V8 supercharged engine.
What could use improvement is me behind the wheel.
That's exactly
Awesome.
right. Ride and handling, smooth as you want it to be with the active suspension system on it. What could use improvement there? Nothing. Base price on the V is $62,680. Price is tested $63,445, and I think that's a bargain, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, it is for what it offers.
Base model price on the CT5 is $41,595. Competitors, BMW 5 Series starts at $54,200, Mercedes-Benz E-Class $54,250, and the Audi A6 at $54,900. And that is my review of the Cadillac CTS CT5V.
V for, oh my gosh, is that fast?
Can you do that again? I wasn't listening.
You just wanted to absorb yourself in all of that? Is that what it was?
Jeff's going to put it on a podcast and replay in his car all the time.
All right, the In-Wheel Time Car Show will continue right after this quick break. Stay with us.
When you're ready to shop Chevrolet, we know one that should be at the top of your list. Bayway. Locally owned by Houston-born and raised Daryl Wisniewski, Bayway brings a sense of family to your Chevrolet buying experience. When you're in the market for a new or used vehicle, you now have a place to go. General Manager Lincoln Stahl guarantees Bayway will beat any competitor's written price on the new vehicle you choose or pay you $1,000. Bayway Chevrolet is located only 8 minutes from the Beltway and Highway 288. Whether it's online or in person, you'll be welcomed like one of the family. BaywayChevrolet.com. Tailpipes and Tacos is Houston's premier cruise-in, and you're invited to join in. Whether you're a cruiser or spectator, Tailpipes and Tacos is the place to enjoy made-to-order breakfast tacos, fresh coffee, and mingle with Houston's fun car people. Mark your calendar for Saturday, June 19th for Tailpipes and Tacos at the Lupi Tortilla Mexican Restaurant in Katy, 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. Tailpipes and Tacos is free, and everyone is invited. You'll see collector cars, hot rods, customs, magnificent originals, and resto mods. Cars from all over Southeast Texas cruise in and show off in a friends and family event at the Lupi Tortilla Mexican Restaurant on the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard, just south of I-10 in Katy. Drag racer, car enthusiast, and Lupi founder Stan Holt brings you Houston's hottest cruise-in, Tailpipes and Tacos, Saturday, June 19th, 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. at Lupi's in Katy. The In-Wheel Time Car Show will be there too. Tailpipes and Tacos, Saturday morning, June 19th, 8 to 11 a.m. at Lupi's in Katy. Inside the Loop, visit Tailpipes and Tacos on the Southwest Freeway at Shepherd, weather permitting. You see all the new ceramic car wash cleaners on TV now, but John Gray at Gulf Coast Auto Shield has been using ceramic coatings on Houston's most expensive cars for years, and he'll tell you that nothing beats the real thing. Gulf Coast Auto Shield installs a coating over your paint that actually comes with a warranty. If you just picked up your Lambo, your Aston Martin, Porsche, Ferrari, any other exotic car, chances are your car will have company that have already found Gulf Coast Auto Shield. Now, you don't have to own an exotic. Maybe you got a truck, an SUV, or even an older vehicle that needs a little love. Well, let John Gray give it a look and give you an estimate on refurbishing that paint and making your vehicle look new again. How about getting a gift certificate for the wife's birthday or anniversary from Gulf Coast Auto Shield and tell her, honey, I know you love your car, so why don't we get it looking new again? It'll be the best gift ever, one that she'll never forget. Get hold of John Gray at gcautoshield.com or give him a call, 832-264-0670. Gulf Coast Auto Shield.
Celebrating 10 years of award-winning car talk, it's the In-Wheel Time Car Show, your weekly go-to all things automotive place. In this segment of our show, we head north to the Oklahoma Route 66 Museum and talk to curator Pat Smith. Conrad has his week in auto history, and we get you updated on the stories making auto news headlines this week. That and more just ahead in this segment. Howdy, along with Mike out of this world, Mars, King Conrad DeLong, and we need more Jeff Zekin.
We got it.
I'm Don Armstrong. So glad that you could join us today. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. Now let's go north, up to Oklahoma, where it doesn't rain.
Clinton, Oklahoma.
Clinton, Oklahoma. And it's Pat Smith. Hi, Pat.
Hello. How are you today?
Well, we're very well, thank you. I did not know that there was an Oklahoma Route 66 museum. Not only that, but I didn't even know that Route 66 went through Oklahoma. Yep. What do I know? Now it's up to you to explain all of this to me, okay?
Okay, I'll sure do that.
So,
are you ready for me?
I am. We are definitely ready to hear the story. So Route 66, I thought, went from Chicago to L.A.
It does.
Yeah, but it goes through Oklahoma. I did not know that it came south to Oklahoma.
Well, it's got to get to L.A. somehow.
Well, I understand that, but you would think that
Let the lady
Pat's
talk.
going to tell us how.
Okay, Pat, it's up to you.
It's all you, Pat.
Oh, yes. Well, Route 66 starts in Chicago, Illinois, goes through 8 states and 3 time zones: Illinois, Missouri, Kansas, Oklahoma, Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, and California, right into the ocean. So 8 states, 3 time zones. Oklahoma actually has more drivable miles of Route 66 than any other state.
I didn't know that. So what year was Route 66 conceived and built?
It was actually became a national highway in 1926. So pretty soon, we'll be 100 years old.
Wow.
And I say we, it seems like I am a part of the road.
Well, yeah, well, that in a kind of a roundabout way, we're glad that you're still standing and being able to talk to us about it as opposed to being on the asphalt. But, Pat, so you say that it is more drivable, Route 66 in Oklahoma, than any of the other states, because Route 66 officially went away a long time ago, did it not?
It was actually decommissioned in 1985. But even though it's no longer a main road to travel, and it took 5 interstates to replace Route 66 from Chicago to Santa Monica. Today it's being revived, and now people are wanting to do the Route 66 vacation, starting in Chicago and ending in Santa Monica, California. So it's getting more and more popular.
On the north entrance on the 66, where would we pick that up? Where, if I wanted to kind of run the Oklahoma Route 66 route, would I go north of you and pick it up there at the border? Or how would it work?
You would actually start, yes, in eastern Oklahoma at the very beginning of it, which is, of course, before you even get to Tulsa. And right after you come down out of Kansas, there's only 13 drivable miles in Kansas. And then, yes, then you would travel through Oklahoma City. The road is pretty drivable here in Oklahoma. There are a few parts that are covered up by I-40, but there are ways that you can actually travel the road and then get back onto it again. So it's pretty drivable here in Oklahoma, all the way to the western border into Texas.
So would I be able to get that information online or go through you? How would I know that?
Yes, you can actually get it online, but we also have a lot of wonderful books that we sell here in our gift shop. And people seem to like to buy a lot of those. And one of the main ones is the travel guide by Jerry McClanahan. And it is just absolutely correct. He updates it every year.
So Pat, how in the world did you get involved in this?
Well, actually, I always had an interest in history. Actually, I went to college and got a business degree, and then later on spread into history. I even grew up along Route 66 between Clinton and Weatherford, which are adjoining towns here. I can remember it as a child. But I started here at this location when it was Western Trails Museum. And due to the national headquarters being located in Clinton, Oklahoma, we decided to change the museum into Route 66. So I became more and more interested in being a history major, and just really, it just became my whole life.
So, Pat, you got some interesting displays in there. Could you give us a quick tour and through a couple of things like we talked about yesterday?
Yes, absolutely.
Because there's some interesting things that come up off of this that I did not know.
About Route 66?
About Route 66.
Right. Okay. I'm trying to get this changed where I can change it here.
Well, she's getting her camera switched around. For people who are traveling through Oklahoma, it's exit 65 off of old Route 66, which is now I-40. And you just turn north, and the Oklahoma Route 66 Museum is about a half a mile off the highway on the left. I was actually up there. I was the one who sent the picture to Mars because I was up there doing some business with the city of Clinton and saw the building and sent Mars the picture and said, hey, get a hold of him. Let's get him on the radio.
You sure didn't have any warrants
on
out?
the show.
Taking care of
they've
warrants?
got a really cool Mustang fastback sitting out there as well. So they've got not just the collection of Route 66
I
memorabilia.
I have it ready to go, but not sure. Can you see?
No, we lost your picture.
Oh, dear.
Well, you can go back to the other camera and just turn the phone around. Might make it easier.
Leave it to Mars to mess this all up, man.
No, I think
ask her to do something that we really,
something in the air.
Is that what it
Yeah,
is?
something
It's
in the
probably
air.
all of the rain that
Rain.
we've been
It'd be
getting.
rain.
But
Yeah.
actually, Route 66 even passed directly through Oklahoma City. So it starts way up in the northeast, up
Oh,
around.
yeah, she said before Tulsa.
Up around.
coming in.
It's up around Miami.
Yeah.
Miami is how
Miami.
they pronounce it up there. So way up in the Missouri-Oklahoma border area, that corner, and then just
you and I talked about the fact that I need to put some miles on my Corvette to really figure out what's going on with the rear end in the Corvette, and that's an interesting trip that I would be willing to do.
There's lots of stuff.
I could probably make it to Oklahoma-Kansas border in a day.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oklahoma City's about an 8-hour drive.
And there's a
From
song
here.
about it, too. Isn't there a song about Route 66?
Yeah, there's
there's a bunch of
lots
songs.
of stuff about it. But I'm sure Pat, when we can get her back on,
Maybe she could
can
Well,
tell
she
us
bounced
about
in
all
and
of it.
out of there. She's working on it.
But
Maybe she could sing it.
Well,
No, she can't sing it. Maybe she can sing it. I don't
she's
know.
listening. Maybe she'll sing for us.
All right, Pat. So,
Oh, there you go.
Oh, there she goes again.
And
Yeah.
now you're gone.
all right. So, Pat, one of the interesting things that I found out, like the person, and I cannot think of his name, she was telling me and showing me the display they got that actually was considered the father of Route 66 was from that Clinton area.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. Who was
Yep.
that, Pat? Because you could hear us a few seconds ago.
actually, it was Jack Cutbirth. I'm still working on trying to get this to work. I'm so sorry.
Well, that's okay.
Go next door and get the high school kid. He'll be able to help you.
yeah.
Well, just talk to us about some of your displays there.
So, so like the parking meter, that was another thing that evolved out of Route 66 being developed, and some other.
First parking meter in the nation was
Yep.
Oklahoma City.
Really?
So
That's something to be proud of.
Well, but I mean, when he's talking about the developments that come off of this highway being developed and what came up of
So
it.
with the first parking meter developed into the first
Parking
ticket.
right. Well, you got to think Route 66 was a major transport of commerce back in the 20s and 30s and 40s.
Yep.
That was the way to get from Chicago to
Was
LA.
it paved all the way from the 20s?
No,
Good
I don't
question.
think so.
We'd have to ask Pat. I would assume so if it became a federal highway. I would think that it was
Because
it
in
was
the
paved.
1920s, there weren't that many paved roads. And
she said
think about that. That was only 100 years ago.
And she said it was decommissioned in the 80s.
I know
mid-80s.
that. Yeah. So
Here we go. We got you, Pat.
yes, here we go.
Did you go next door and get the high school kid over there to help you out?
Really use my adult brain.
Oh, okay.
We don't have
you
those
got more
here.
than we got.
Yeah, we don't have those here.
Yeah, we missed that a long
We're out.
time ago. So where are we in here?
Well, actually, when you walk into the museum, you walk into what we call our wow room. And we change our automobiles out every 6 months. And right now, as you can see, we have a beautiful 1970 Ford Mach 1 in here.
Oh, all our Ford fans are
We had
going nuts.
numerous different cars that were popular when Route 66 was a main road to travel. But anyway, we have a lot of bus tours, a lot of car groups that come in here. And I'm just going to kind of take you around the room here. And it's just a popular, people love this room. Sometimes it's hard to get them out of here because you can actually see the bridge span. As you can see up here, that was along Route 66. The museum was actually designed to look like an old roadhouse on Route 66. Then as you go on up, you will go through the galleries, and our museum tells the history of Route 66 by decades. Of course, the popular saying, the shield on the door and get your kicks on Route 66. Shall we go in and get our kicks on Route 66?
We're ready.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
Now, did you do all of this work yourself or have it done, Pat?
Well, we are a part of the Oklahoma Historical Society. So we actually, and I'll just give a kind of a sweep around the room here. we actually have our wonderful exhibit design team that works with me. And yes, I was a part of the team. So it just feels like, yes, we had a wonderful time brainstorming and deciding what to put in here. As you can see, a postcard. Oh, let's don't forget, get your kicks. So that's what we're going to do today, okay?
Okay.
Conrad, hold
The
me.
66, a brief little overview here, and we'll go on into the 1920s. Newspaper articles leading up to it, of course, of the time period. Every entryway has that. Of course, the creation of Route 66 stands out in our mind. And I'll just take the building of the road, the old equipment that was used to build the road. Also, throughout our gallery rooms, we have where you can scan this app and get the audio tour by Michael Wallace of every exhibit gallery.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, because this is a big place.
Yeah. Well, how big is the museum, Pat?
Pardon me?
How large is the museum?
It's actually 10,000 square feet of exhibit space.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
And of course, we have a lot of exhibit space outside too. But Route 66, you're talking about Oklahoma, is really on the map because Cyrus Avery's from Oklahoma. They actually formed the Highway Commission. Jack and Gladys Cuthbert that we mentioned earlier, right over here from Clinton. Also, Andy Payne won the foot race on Route 66 and put $25,000 back into the state. The car, which I know is important to car enthusiasts such as you right here. Then we'll go on into the 1930s. Newspaper articles, here we go. In the 1930s, the Dust Bowl days, the Great Depression stands out in our mind. Now look at this automobile.
That's Conrad's BG truck.
And the ignition works.
With all the stuff in my trunk.
We've came a long way, haven't we?
We have,
Not
yeah.
really.
I know part of this like. Oh yes, have to have the garage for the automobile,
Oh,
right?
yeah. And all of the gas pumps of the era.
But that was one of the things that developed because of Route 66. You know, the automobile was now going out, so you had to have a place to fix it in along the way.
So you mentioned that you were on a committee with all the memorabilia. Is that things that were purchased, donated, consignment?
Donated. Everything here at the museum has actually been donated. But yes, the filling station, Dust Bowl days. It became the migrant road. Oh my! I know you want one of these.
Still the migrant road.
It is.
Well, it is. You know, we had family that went out to California, and some of them are still out there, but some of them came back, you know, because California wasn't the promised land they thought. But anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
Still not.
Oh, right. Anyway, we've came a long way, haven't we, in the development of history on Route 66. Here we go into the 1940s. And we have some wonderful people in here visiting our museum today.
Hi.
Yes.
Hello.
He said, hi, folks. Yes. And we're actually, you know, we have around 60,000 visitors a year here at the museum. Of course, over-the-road trucking came into place to haul the military supplies.
Pat, do you serve hors d'oeuvres? If I came up there and took a little tour, I'm thinking a little champagne and hors d'oeuvres as we stroll through.
Well, yeah, I think you do need that. That would really make
There's a barbecue place across the street.
We need
you
all
would know that.
things what you're wanting to do if you come visit our museum. Absolutely.
All right.
The park, oh my, you know, the traffic lights have certainly changed. The bus stations, of course.
This is a destination for me.
Oh yeah. No, it's a very, very cool museum and a great history. I remember.
Pat, do you also own and operate a bed and breakfast at your house?
I'm afraid not, but I certainly need that.
Yeah, that's right. Well, I'll be your first customer. I'll come stay with you, and then you could take me on a personal tour of the museum.
There you go.
I remember when they decommissioned it, because I was still living in Oklahoma at the time. When they decommissioned Route 66, all these people went out and started stealing the signs on the highway.
Sure.
Because there wasn't a reason for it, and that became quite collectible. I would assume you sell that kind of memorabilia there, Pat?
Yes, we do. We sell memorabilia to fit the actual time period of Route 66. Pretty much every decade that Route 66 was a popular road to travel. Right here, we're in the 1960s. And look at this fine automobile.
Looks like Broderick Crawford's.
Lutz. The diner was popular. The phone booth. Oh my goodness. The jukebox.
All right.
Rock and roll.
Well, that'd be some early Elvis there.
Oh, more people.
Oh, and here we go into the 60s.
Check
Yes,
this out.
we have a lady that's fixing to come into the 1960s. You want to tell them hello?
Hello.
Wave. Hi.
He waved.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
Oh, goodness, the 1960s, the hippie culture in America. Look at the vehicle.
Pat, you and I were there together, remember?
or not.
Yeah.
She wasn't sure she wanted to admit that.
Well, there's now a dispensary on every corner in the state of Oklahoma.
Is there really?
Oh yeah, they passed medical marijuana, and it's real easy to get your card.
Well,
Road trip.
You're just assuming that the hippies all smoked pot. That's not the case.
No, there's peace and
But
love.
some of them did acid.
Really always the case. But, oh my goodness, do you guys remember the family vacations were popular? The movie camera came into place. Look at the wonderful car.
It's a Rambler.
It's cool.
It's a Rambler
station
wagon.
Doesn't matter. It's still a wagon.
Yeah. Oh my, the cameras have came a long way. See, this is probably why I can remember some of this.
A brownie
So
and a
this-
Polaroid.
That's right.
Now look at the cameras,
Dispensary.
right?
Oh yeah.
Dispensary brownie.
Are you there yet?
No, we're not here yet, but we're
That's what the
moving that
kids
direction.
always had to say.
Oh, the car goes into the wall. How fun!
Yes, yes. It looks like it's parked at a road park along Route 66.
Oh, yeah, and the parking,
Cool.
yeah, the picnic table.
Yeah.
Stopping for lunch. We did that.
So as you can tell, the history of the road, oh my goodness, the 1970s, Route 66 was no longer a main road to travel.
What?
Because interstates came into place.
Yeah,
Right.
That started the demise.
Oh, hell, the road closed. Many of the photos of the road closing.
Wow. Well, and it looks like you got a movie going there too, Pat.
Yes. And here's the drive-in theater, and the movie actually sums up the history of Route 66 in here, and from the beginning to the end.
Wow.
Pat, where exactly is the museum located?
It's located at 2229 Gary Boulevard, which is actually one of the alignments of Route 66 that went through Clinton.
So
Before
you're in Clinton, Oklahoma.
Clinton, Oklahoma. And the road lives on here at the museum here in Clinton, Oklahoma.
Well, how fun has this been? It makes me want to go. I'm thinking maybe a road trip later in the summer.
Pat, my wife is from Hobart, Oklahoma.
Oh my goodness, that's just south of here, absolutely.
Just a hop, skip, and a jump
There you
down
go.
66.
No, it's down 81.
Okay, 81,
Yeah.
whatever.
Well, there's a lot of stuff. I got people in Oklahoma City and Okmulgee and Tulsa and all over the place.
Well, we really appreciate you giving us a tour of the place, and I'm assuming you have a website, and it is okhistory.org is what I show. Is that correct?
That's absolutely correct.
So I will post that on our social media and let everybody know to
That's
get
the
a hold
museum shop. You know, the T-shirts and the signs, everything.
Yeah, all the
of it. That's where you
merch.
get the merch.
That's where you get the merch, the swag.
Greta's my number one gift shop gal.
All right.
She is.
Hi.
Well, I'm coming up there to see her. All right. Pat, again, thank you so much. We really appreciate the time you take today, and we're going to send all our folks up that way, including me.
Okay, well, thank you. And remember, get your kicks on
Route 66.
Pat Smith
Thank
with
you
the
very much.
Oklahoma Route 66 Museum. How much fun is that, ladies and gentlemen?
That could be a lot of fun.
Time now for This Week in Auto History, which kind of rolls right into the Route 66 Museum, and Mr. DeLong has that.
Jeffrey will boot up the video.
Got it booted.
And in 1911, Ray Haroon won the inaugural Indianapolis 500, driving the yellow Marmon Wasp. And I think, doesn't Stan Holt have a replica of the yellow Marmon Wasp?
I do not know that.
I believe so, because I think I remember it coming out to the Tailpipes and Tacos early on. So And then in 1921 is when Mack adopted the Bulldog as the symbol for their Mack trucks. And again, that's actually stayed virtually the same over time, that Mack Bulldog. In 1927, the production of the Ford Model T officially ended after 15,007,000 Model Ts were built. Basically the same car from the beginning to the end, and they were all black. In 1930, the Chrysler Building in New York City opened up as the well, you got ahead of me by one.
No,
Oh.
it filled in.
The Chrysler Building opened up as the world's tallest building in Oklahoma, in New York City.
In Oklahoma City.
And then in 1933, eager motorists parked their automobiles on the grounds of the Park-In drive-in theaters, the first ever drive-in movie theater located in Camden, New Jersey. In 1937, the Golden Gate Bridge opened to vehicular traffic for the first time, the largest single-span suspension bridge in the world. In 1950, Preston Tucker, his lawsuit against the former prosecutors was thrown out of court because they were, he felt that the Big Three were attacking him and, very much led to the collapse of Tucker automobiles. They only built 53 of them, but quite an interesting car. In 1959, I'm going to butcher this name, Koichiro Kawashima, I think that might be good, was elected vice president, general manager of American Honda Motor Company, and they were out of a small little building in L.A., and that was the start of American Honda Motors right there. In 1988, Consumer Reports called for a ban on the Suzuki Samurai, and because it had a propensity to tip over.
No.
And then in 2004, this week marks the 15th anniversary of the Killdozer rampage. Remember, this guy had played it up as Bulldozer and drove through some city and destroyed a bunch of stuff?
Yes, we did remember that.
So that is this week in automotive history.
All right, thank you, sir. Time now for a couple of headlines, stories making news in the automotive world. One of the worst-kept secrets in the auto industry is out. Ford Motor Company on Thursday said it plans to reveal a compact pickup truck called the Maverick next week via social media and the streaming service Hulu. A teaser video described it as the truck you didn't see coming. Production is expected to begin in late July. The truck's expected to go on sale later this year. Ford has told dealers that the truck will start at less than $20,000, effectively serving as an entry-level replacement for the company's discontinued sedans and the long overdue replacement for the original Ranger pickup truck.
And you've talked quite a while about, bringing the mini truck back, what was called the mini truck, something below the current Ranger.
So dumb. I don't know why they haven't done that before now, but whatever. The truck has been engineered on the same unibody front-wheel drive and all-wheel drive C2 platform that underpins the Lincoln Corsair, which I had last week, and the Ford Escape and Bronco Sport crossovers. And are you looking for a job in the automobile industry? CarMax said Wednesday it plans to hire 1,800 service professionals by the end of the summer as it looks to get more vehicles sale-ready. The move comes amid high demand and low supply for used vehicles. The company said it is partnering with job search site Indeed to hold career events this month, while also accepting virtual applications as it looks to fill positions such as technicians, detailers, painters, and supply associates.
So get off the couch, get off of unemployment. The $300 bonus is going away, and go get a job. CarMax is hiring.
Conrad says. Well, that's it for this portion of In Wheel Time. We're going to take a quick break and be back with our last hour in just a minute.
Whether you own a newer car or want to keep your older one humming along for a while longer, think of Bayway Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, Bayway Chevy, and Bayway Lincoln to keep things in tip-top shape. From oil changes to major repairs, you can depend on the highly skilled service pros at Bayway Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, Bayway Chevrolet, and Bayway Lincoln to perform fast, efficient service to keep your investment running strong. For all your service needs, remember Bayway. Schedule your next appointment online anytime. Bayway, keeping it original. Tailpipes and Tacos is Houston's premier cruise-in, and you're invited to join in. Whether you're a cruiser or spectator, Tailpipes and Tacos is the place to enjoy made-to-order breakfast tacos, fresh coffee, and mingle with Houston's fun car people. Mark your calendar for Saturday, June 19th for Tailpipes and Tacos at the Lupe Tortilla Mexican Restaurant in Katy, 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. Tailpipes and Tacos is free, and everyone is invited. You'll see collector cars, hot rods, customs, magnificent originals, and resto mods. Cars from all over Southeast Texas cruise in and show off in a friends and family event at the Lupe Tortilla Mexican Restaurant on the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard, just south of I-10 in Katy. Drag racer, car enthusiast, and Lupe founder Stan Holt brings you Houston's hottest cruise-in, Tailpipes and Tacos, Saturday, June 19th, 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. at Lupe's in Katy. The In Wheel Time Car Show will be there too. Tailpipes and Tacos, Saturday morning, June 19th, 8 to 11 a.m. at Lupe's in Katy. Inside the Loop, visit Tailpipes and Tacos on the Southwest Freeway at Shepherd, weather permitting. You see all the new ceramic car wash cleaners on TV now, but John Gray at Gulf Coast Auto Shield has been using ceramic coatings on Houston's most expensive cars for years, and he'll tell you that nothing beats the real thing. Gulf Coast Auto Shield installs a coating over your paint that actually comes with a warranty. If you just picked up your Lambo, your Aston Martin, Porsche, Ferrari, any other exotic car, chances are your car will have company that have already found Gulf Coast Auto Shield. Now, you don't have to own an exotic. Maybe you got a truck, an SUV, or even an older vehicle that needs a little love. Well, let John Gray give it a look and give you an estimate on refurbishing that paint and making your vehicle look new again. How about getting a gift certificate for the wife's birthday or anniversary from Gulf Coast Auto Shield and tell her, honey, I know you love your car, so why don't we get it looking new again? It'll be the best gift ever, one that she'll never forget. Get hold of John Gray at gcautoshield.com or give him a call, 832-264-0670. Gulf Coast Auto Shield.
Celebrating 10 years of award-winning car talk, it's the In Wheel Time Car Show. Just ahead, we check in with the man who advises Nancy Pelosi which cars to buy. Our friend Jack Nerad.
Poor Jack.
We Need More Jeff will tout his pre-owned car of the week, the Mazda 3 Hatch, and we'll also have the stories making automotive news headlines this week. It's just ahead on today's In Wheel Time Car Show. Howdy, along with Mike Out of This World Mars, King Conrad DeLong, and We Need More Jeff Zekin. I'm Don Armstrong. Joining us now, live via Zoom out in California, the left coast, is Mr. Jack Nerad. Ladies and gentlemen, here he is, the advisor to Nancy Pelosi.
Thank you. How did you know I knew Nancy? We're tight. We're like that.
I kind of figured as much, just because of the proximity to where you are and where she is.
Which finger did he use when he did that?
Oh.
Yeah, I used a couple, but one of them was more apropos than the other, maybe.
Oh, my goodness. Jack, it's great to see you, my friend. How are you?
Good to see you guys.
Well,
what a pleasure.
Well, as always. So, we had an event come through Houston. This was a couple of months ago, and our dear friend Steve Parrott, who I'm sure that you know with Nissan, was down here with a bunch of vehicles, new vehicles for Nissan. And, Nissan in the past few years has been really quiet.
Very.
And of course, Carlos Ghosn, that whole story, that's another subject for another day. But
We'll pack that one away.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah, in a suitcase.
Let's save it.
But they've been kind of quiet, and they've really been losing their butt because they really haven't had any new products. But I went to see several all-new vehicles for Nissan in this little tour that he was giving. He brought it to Houston, and I guess we had about a half a dozen vehicles, one of which was the new Z car, also the new Pathfinder, the Lyric. There were several new cars there, and I was thoroughly impressed. And I know, Jack, that you had a chance to check out the new Nissan Pathfinder, and boy, what a difference a day makes, huh?
Absolutely. It's such a great vehicle. And, Pathfinder has a great history. It dates way back into the 80s. I date way back earlier than that, but I remember when it was introduced, and it immediately made a name for itself as an off-roader, and I think they're trying to move it back in that direction, at least give you the impression and give everybody the impression that you can go off-road in this thing, and we certainly did that up in Montana when they introduced it. I mean, it was darn cold up there. It was kind of crazy cold, and we were camping So we really had an interesting time with the new Pathfinder. And geez, it's such a good-looking vehicle, and it's so versatile. I think it's going to score very, very strongly in the marketplace.
Well, that's one of the things that I wanted to talk to you about. It was rather striking because I had to look at the back of the vehicle to find out what it was. It doesn't look anything at all like the latest product that they had that is now replaced.
No, and it's very intentional. I think some of the styling, you know how stylists are. They say, oh, this was inspired by that. If you remember, the original Pathfinder in two-door form had a really interesting C-pillar.
Yes, it did.
Kind of this angular thing, and so they have a little echoed that in the styling. It's not nearly as clear-cut, and of course, this is a four-door. Two-door SUVs have gone the way of the Albatross, I think, but it's kind of interesting what they've done with the styling, and I think they've done a very good job. And I think inside it's even better than ever before.
Well, Nissan has been a stalwart in off-roading for quite some time, and they did bring the new truck out. We got the chance to see it, and it has a lot of similarities to the Toyota Tacoma, and I think that you'll agree.
Yeah, exactly. And it kind of makes sense that you would emulate the vehicle that is the go-to in that particular segment. And you're right, they have a great off-road heritage, but I would say over the last 10 or 15 years, you really wouldn't know it from the products they put out there, from the way they've advertised them. So I think they want to get back to their roots with that, and I think the Pathfinder is going to be a strong entry. It's certainly a vehicle. If I were looking for a mid-size SUV, absolutely, I would take a look at the new 22 Nissan Pathfinder.
Now, what do you think about the interior? Their interiors have come such a long way. I mean, they really are cutting edge, but they haven't lost the fact that it's still a vehicle that everybody needs to be able to get in and be able to do things like work the infotainment system. Like some manufacturers have just gone off the board, and it's dumb, really. But Nissan,
how complex they are,
Nissan seems to has held true to the user friendliness of their vehicles.
Yeah, I mean, they've got the magic formula of it being useful and easy to use when you're in motion, right? It's not that you're going to be sitting there still and you can spend a lot of time looking at an infotainment screen and pick things out. So I think based on that, they really score. Maybe in terms of overall looks of the thing as an art piece, there are others that are maybe more interesting, but you don't want it to be interesting. You just want it to be useful when you're driving. And I think they come up with that magic formula.
Well, I in particular have been really impressed, and I'm seeing more and more press about their new all-electric.
Yeah, absolutely. I think and they want you to think about them as an electric vehicle company, or at least have an entry there. And, we've seen a lot of entries. We've seen a lot of new product there. Hyundai has put something out there over the course of the last week or so as well. So there's a lot of companies that want you to start thinking about them in a whole different light, and Nissan certainly is one of them.
Yeah, and I've seen a lot of pictures here recently about the new Z. I guess they're getting ready to officially introduce that.
Yeah, they're kind of teasing it a little bit in their brand commercial.
Yeah.
Yeah, and of course that's, again, getting back to their heritage, just as they're getting back to their heritage with Pathfinder. A brand that has been slipping a bit, and I think they would freely admit that they've been slipping a bit. They've had a lot going on that wasn't directly related to selling vehicles in the United States over the last couple of years, so you can understand that. But now they want to get back to their roots, put things out there like the Z car, like a Pathfinder that is very true to what Pathfinders have been through the years. And I think that's going to serve them really well, because there's a lot of built-in support for Nissan, going back to the Datsun days. They just haven't capitalized on that so well over the course of the last, say, 3-5 years.
Well, I mean, and certainly in the past year or two, I mean, the whole news about Nissan has been about Carlos Ghosn's escape from Japan in a guitar case.
Right, and it's good radio, right? I mean, it's a good podcast subject to talk about. It's almost like a movie script, except you wouldn't believe it.
Right,
Somebody who is a CEO of a major car company escaping from the law in a suitcase and
Being helped
going
by,
into exile, essentially. It's kind of crazy.
Being helped by two American Navy SEALs, were they?
One was the father-son team. I don't recall exactly.
Yeah, one of them was a SEAL, though. Either way.
Yeah,
and now they're being prosecuted. They're being extradited to Japan, and they're going to be prosecuted.
I want to know where the movie is. Are you writing the script for the movie and not just telling us?
Yeah, I'm keeping it in the dark. I'm on the left coast here. I am
there you go.
in Hollywood, essentially. So, of course, I've got a movie deal cooking, but I can't tell you right now.
He's closer to Japan than we are.
That's right.
And the 3 stars would be Larry, Daryl, and Daryl.
There you go.
Yeah.
Who is Larry, Daryl, and Daryl?
It's a TV show.
It's an old
Larry
TV show.
and Daryl were brothers, and their other brother Daryl.
Their other brother Daryl.
Oh
too.
God, I don't
Bob
even want to know.
Newhart show.
Oh,
Go back to sleep.
okay. Yeah. Sorry, that one I missed. So Jack, what else have you been doing since the last time we talked to you?
Well, the most recent thing I was doing, and I really am not supposed to talk about it because you guys are you guys, I will a little bit.
Okay.
You just referred to it. I saw the Maverick yesterday.
Oh, you did?
Oh, okay.
I was in the Maverick. I was taking pictures of the Maverick. I interviewed the Ford marketing manager in charge of the Maverick. So it's an interesting vehicle, and it is very truck-like, which you wouldn't necessarily guess, right? You might think it's some kind of odd cross. Remember that old Explorer that had a truck bed about
the Explorer Sport?
Bed?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, it's nothing like that. Which is a good thing, right? I mean, it's not this weird cross between this and that.
Sport
It
track,
looks like
yeah.
a pickup truck.
Oh, well,
I mean,
good.
it's interesting that it's on a front drive platform, but it can be all-wheel drive as well.
And it's
So-
4-door, 2-door.
Well, I shouldn't be saying.
Okay.
Okay.
But
We
I
don't
can
wanna
hold
put
up
you in a bind.
I can hold up fingers,
There you go. Yeah. Well, we
and
assume.
it carries that many people.
Got you.
Oh.
So
Well,
yeah.
you
Well,
didn't say anything. Thank you.
right. And not only that, but we wouldn't imagine that it would be anything other than that because let's face it. I mean, how many old-style pickup trucks do they sell these days? Really, not that many.
Only in the work platform.
Right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
and even that's not that many because the cost difference isn't that much.
And
The startling thing is what the base price of this thing is going to be.
yeah. So I read
How many
that.
fingers you got, Jack?
Yeah, I don't have that
taking
many.
his
but
shoes off.
It's a really low price.
Well, as a matter of fact, I read the story
there's
here.
Interesting things about the drivetrain too.
Yeah,
that,
I read the story that it's going to be starting at under $20,000.
Wow.
They're going to sell every single one they can possibly make.
If they get chips.
Yeah. So did they bring the Maverick out there to you, or did you have to go somewhere?
Well, I went to a Ford facility in Orange County, which is the next county over for
Yep.
me. So
Sure.
yeah, got a chance to see it.
What are you
Well-
driving now?
I am driving a Honda Ridgeline this week, and when my portion of the show is over, 3 of us are going to hop in there and drive up about 200 miles to visit my daughter at her college. So I'll get a good test of the Honda Ridgeline.
What school did she go to?
Call ahead.
Yeah, exactly. She's going to be there. She knows that we're on the way, but she's going to be there anyway.
What college, Jack?
She goes to Cal Poly San Luis Obispo.
Oh, beautiful, right there in Morro Bay. Gorgeous,
Very pretty.
gorgeous
So, yeah,
place to go to school.
Well, Jack, you done good, sir. I mean, you got the
Always
daughter
cool.
up at a beautiful campus and great school. So congratulations.
Up there.
Yeah, well, and 2 of my daughters are Texas daughters, as you guys know. One just graduated from TCU, so I have that connection too. So
And
we'll be coming
Nancy
to visit
Pelosi.
one of these days.
Yeah, and Nancy Pelosi, or know of Nancy Pelosi. That's
Yes,
what it is.
both of those things. Yeah,
All of those
we're
things.
tight. Me
So-
and Nancy.
so what do
we
you-
share masks?
There you go. So what?
Oh gosh. I won't go there.
Do you happen to have a freezer full of ice cream?
Of course.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's one thing that Nancy and I actually really do share. A love of ice cream. I love premium ice cream, and that's
How are your Cubbies doing this year?
Great until we got to San Francisco. I don't know whether Nancy has anything to do with that because, she used to be mayor of San Francisco.
Of course she
But
did.
they've lost the last two, but, they're doing okay. Hanging in there.
So what? So you currently have this car. So what is on your agenda? What are you looking forward to?
In terms of vehicles.
Yeah, let's go back to
Yeah, we're talking about vehicles again.
Getting off the show.
Ford Bronco is coming up. I'm going to be driving Ford Bronco, I think, in 2 weeks' time, something like that. I am going up to drive the Grand Cherokee L, the Jeep Grand Cherokee L, on Monday. Headed to Detroit and then headed back from Detroit a little later in the week. So I've got a pretty full slate of stuff to do in June and very interesting vehicles.
I have to confess to you, Jack, that the Bronco, not the Bronco Sport that's out now, but the Bronco, I think that they have really missed the boat on the whole publicity thing with it because all of the excitement that we had, 9 months ago, a year ago, the Bronco's coming back. Well, where is it? It's still not here, and they've got this Bronco Sport thing, and it's not a detriment to the brand or the vehicle itself, but to be honest with you, I saw one in person in a parking lot, and I wasn't impressed. I'm looking for the Bronco. And I think that they should have kind of said, you know what, we've got a special vehicle coming, and we're not going to tell you what it is. And then when they're ready to put it in the showroom, then bring it out.
It didn't give you the wow factor.
And I think in retrospect, they would have preferred or would have been better advised, right, to launch with the Bronco, the thing that the thing that basically competes with the Jeep Wrangler.
Right.
And is the thing that everybody's anticipating. Not its little brother, and then introduce the little brother later, right, as a sub-brand of that. And I imagine the people at Ford understood that. Sometimes production changes things. And, of course, if they had met the original production plan, Bronco Sport would have been out there, and then Bronco would have followed very, very closely after that. Not this 9, 10 months, 12 months that we're seeing now.
I think some of that was driven by COVID as well.
Perhaps, but I mean, it just seemed like a missed opportunity to sell a bajillion more of them when the talk, the hype, all of the publicity was going on when they first announced that they were going to build it. And then they did a commercial with one in it. It's like, okay, well, here it is, the Bronco and the Bronco Sport, and then nothing. And here we're still waiting. And you're finally getting a chance to drive one, which obviously is a pre-production vehicle. When is it supposed to hit the showroom? Do you know?
Well, I think the latest thinking is it's going to hit around September or so. Okay. And typically I'm driving vehicles, 4 to 6 weeks before they're in the marketplace. So if I'm driving in late June, say, that would indicate maybe mid-August or something like that.
Yeah.
Would be a logical time to think
August
that would
1st to September.
Well, I wonder how this chip thing is going to affect it.
Well, I think that's part of their problem. I think that's one of the reasons it's been delayed.
Are you hearing anything about the chip shortage lightening up? I mean, are we finding some chips under the couch or something?
I think if anything, it's getting worse. It's kind of a nice problem that the car industry is going great guns. So there's a great deal of desire for inventory out there. They want to build a lot of vehicles, and I think people anticipating the chip shortage are going. If I'm going to buy something, I should buy now as opposed to buying in a month or two, or even looking to 2022's coming in great numbers around Labor Day or so.
Well, wouldn't you suggest that, though, Jack? I mean, if you really want to buy a car, buy it now, because the price ain't going to go down.
Right. I've had friends of ours who were trying to buy a car and almost were stymied in their ability to find anything they wanted, and kind of had to go to maybe their third or fourth choice. Just kind of up against it because inventory of the vehicles they wanted just wasn't around.
Yeah.
You had mentioned you're going to, in the short future, drive the Grand Cherokee, or going up to look at the Grand Cherokee L.
Yes.
We were lucky enough that Jeep brought that to the Houston Auto Show a couple of weeks ago. So I'm going to say kind of the world debut of that truck. to the public was at the Houston Auto Show. What an amazing looking truck, and adding the third row and stuff. I think they're going to be very much a suburban fighter.
And there were people all over that vehicle. It's really conservatively impressive. I guess that's the best way that I can put it.
The same thing with the Wrangler E was right behind us.
Right. So, at any rate, we were impressed here.
Yeah, and you should be. I share that. I think it's a really good-looking vehicle. I really anticipate driving it. I think they're going to score big because 3 rows in vehicles that size, that's where the market is. That's a big part of the market.
And
so
there's not a lot of
3-row offering is going to be great for Jeep.
And there's not a lot of competition for Suburban Yukon and Expedition L. There's those 3 kind of live by themselves, with Suburban and Yukon XLs being the big player.
Yeah.
Jack,
I'm sure it'll play well.
Where can our followers, our listeners, our viewers catch you?
Track me down.
Track you down.
A couple of places.
Besides Nancy's house.
Yeah, Nancy's house, getting her ice cream. I have a podcast called America on the Road, and it's on all the podcast platforms. So, tune into that when you want. And, of course, drivingtoday.com is a place where I do a lot of writing. I'm the editor there at drivingtoday.com. I also write stuff for jdpower.com, autobytel.com, and lately I've been writing some stuff for truecar.com, too. So you're going to see my byline everywhere. If you Google Jack Nerad, you'll be shocked at what you find.
That has several connotations, but I know you. And I'm thinking I'm just going to go with the America on the Road or drivingtoday.com. We'll just keep it all above board.
Yes, thank you.
We love you, Jack Nerad, and we thank you so much for joining us today.
It's always a pleasure talking to you guys. It's so much fun, and I look forward to doing it again real soon. So you guys take care. And have some fun driving.
Yeah, and we'll be looking for more interesting car reviews from the Jack Nerad camp. So take care of yourself.
Okay.
Thanks, sir.
All right. Jack Nerad. I love Jack.
Very cool.
He's a funny guy. He's a lot of fun.
Okay, time now for the racing calendar. Racing's in full swing around America.
Yep, and NHRA is next weekend at the New England Nationals, and then they go to Norwalk on the 27th, and then the Mile High Nationals on July 18th at Bandimere Speedway, which is always a challenging track to run because of the altitude. NASCAR this weekend is in Sonoma at the road course. They brought 7 road courses this year to NASCAR. Typically in the past there was only 3, Sonoma and Watkins Glen. So this
it used to be Riverside. I loved Riverside.
Riverside was down in L.A. Yeah, Sonoma's up in Sonoma.
But I loved Riverside.
Yep, challenging course. And then on the 13th of June, they're going to be at Texas Motor Speedway up in Fort Worth. And then on the 20th, they're going to be at Nashville Super Speedway, which is the first time the Cup has been at Nashville in quite some time.
Let me just say this about the COTA race. What an absolute nightmare that turned out to be.
Well, had it been dry, it would have been good.
Great. But oh my God. And they didn't stop the race. They let them rain, and it just kept raining.
And run into each other.
Run into each other. Couldn't see.
Yeah, I'm putting up a spray, so I'm going to drive right into the spray, not thinking there's somebody there.
Well, but that's just the way they run on ovals. I mean, because the banking and stuff, theoretically, all the trash falls down, and you just keep going. Well, COTA's flat.
Well, but the other thing was,
there's no runoff.
Typically,
minimal.
they never run in the rain, so I think it was new to all of those guys to put wet tires on and get behind the wheel.
Hold my beer. Watch this.
Dude, that is just no. What were they trying to prove by doing that? That they could
get the race in. And then tomorrow is going to be Azerbaijan for Formula One. The French Grand Prix is on the 20th, and the Austrian Grand Prix at the Red Bull Ring is going to be on the 27th. IMSA is going to be next weekend with the prototypes and the Corvettes and GTLMs in Detroit Belle Isle. and then Road America on the 20th. The Lamborghini Super Trofeo is in Virginia International Raceway this weekend with our friend Alec Udell driving.
Cool.
And he got himself a fine ride.
Mike?
And
hand that down.
Oh,
okay.
I didn't know where he was going with that.
Yeah, well, we've been trying to get your attention for the past 10 minutes,
Well,
but you're in your own world down there.
Yeah, I'm looking at the next guest.
I guess what I need to do is I need to get me a little spitball.
And in race 2 at Coda, Alec finished second in that Lamborghini running.
There you go. It's got thrown out.
Even in the rain.
A little rubber band with some paper clips.
So that's the racing calendar coming up, and I don't know if they are going to get a chance to reschedule Gina's race or not. Have you talked to her about that?
I have not. It was raining there yesterday. I don't even know anymore, and I'm sure that she's as frustrated as the rest of us are. We're done with the rain for the time being. All right, time now for the pre-owned car of the week. We've been trying to get to this for 3 weeks, and Jeffrey has been very patient. The Mazda 3 hatch.
Oh,
Jeffrey,
my goodness, here we go.
What year was it? Here we go.
2019. 2019 Mazda 3 hatchback.
Here we go.
Here we go. The trim levels, and I'm going to take my time with this since it's 3 weeks, so it's probably about an hour. I'm due.
Don won't let you go that long.
No.
Standard, premium, and premium all-wheel drive. It is a compact hatch, or what they like to call subcompact crossover, which is a very cool little car you see there. Seats 5, 2 adults, 3 small kids. I wouldn't go that far. Maybe 2 adults, 2 kids, maybe a dog, fishbowl, maybe a ferret, something like that. So exterior, front end was reinvented to match the rest of the Mazda line. It's got a controversial rounded rear end, which is called a Kodo designed. Full LED lamps, taillights, radar adaptive cruise control system. It has a long sculptured hood to accommodate the exhaust and the larger engine.
Slick looking.
It is.
Hot hatch.
It is. And plus, it's a cool color, and that just accents it as well. It's got a raked rear hatch, which reduces the cargo space. It's 8 inches shorter than the sedan, which
Nobody's
makes sense.
moving plywood in this thing.
I mean, where are you going to buy plywood now, anyways? It's got a decent front cockpit area, 2 adjustable lumbars for the driver. There you go.
That was a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah. Manual. It's got a manual tilt wheel. It's got a scoping steering wheel. Passenger seats. It lacks the range, but the driver's seat is okay. It's got a good fit. Good fit and finish on the actual dashboard and the interior design. Cargo area is larger than the sedan. Still tight for the cargo large products that you put in the back. I couldn't put a drum kit in this by no means. Rear seating is tight, like we said. A couple of kids at best.
Oh, that is
yeah,
close.
it's very, very tight. It's got a unique design so far as the system upgrades on the stereo systems. Now, getting under the hood and the power side of it, you got a 2.0-liter direct injection, 60 miles an hour in 7.2 seconds, 15.6 in the quarter mile, which is just typical for that size. 186 horsepower at 6,000 RPM and 186 foot-pounds of torque at 4,000. You can get a 6-speed auto or a 6-speed manual. It's got the Sky Active engine for the mileage, but that's coming soon on the Sky Active X is what they're calling it. 25 miles gallon in the city, 35 on the highway, 30 combined. It no longer has an independent rear suspension. All-wheel drive is available, and it's basically a spirited handling little car. $21,000 to $30,000, depending on, of course, mileage, the condition of the vehicle, and what you saw there was a 2019. The vehicle had 7 recalls in that year.
Oh, my.
And it was electrical systems, engine, forward collision avoidance system had a problem, seat belts and seats had issues, powertrain, visibility, and wheels had the problem.
Just a little bit of everything.
Just a little bit of everything.
My next door neighbor bought one for his high school daughter. I love it. It's
it's
just
a neat little car.
Just a good-looking
That's
car.
what it would be for.
It's a well-styled car for a young high school.
Yep.
Yep.
Spirited driver.
Yeah.
The end.
All right. Well, thank you, sir.
Yep.
That is it for this segment of the In Wheel Time Car Show. We're going to continue on right after this quick break.
Whether you own a newer car or want to keep your older one humming along for a while longer, think of Bayway Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, Bayway Chevy, and Bayway Lincoln to keep things in tip-top shape. From oil changes to major repairs, you can depend on the highly skilled service pros at Bayway Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, Bayway Chevrolet, and Bayway Lincoln to perform fast, efficient service to keep your investment running strong. For all your service needs, remember Bayway. Schedule your next appointment online anytime. Bayway, keeping it original. Tailpipes and Tacos is Houston's premier cruise-in, and you're invited to join in. Whether you're a cruiser or spectator, Tailpipes and Tacos is the place to enjoy made-to-order breakfast tacos, fresh coffee, and mingle with Houston's fun car people. Mark your calendar for Saturday, June 19th for Tailpipes and Tacos at the Lupe Tortilla Mexican Restaurant in Katy, 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. Tailpipes and Tacos is free, and everyone is invited. You'll see collector cars, hot rods, customs, magnificent originals, and resto mods. Cars from all over Southeast Texas cruise in and show off in a friends and family event at the Lupe Tortilla Mexican Restaurant on the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard, just south of I-10 in Katy. Drag racer, car enthusiast, and Lupe founder Stan Holt brings you Houston's hottest cruise-in, Tailpipes and Tacos, Saturday, June 19th, 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. at Lupe's in Katy. The In Wheel Time Car Show will be there too. Tailpipes and Tacos, Saturday morning, June 19th, 8 to 11 a.m. at Lupe's in Katy. Inside the Loop, visit Tailpipes and Tacos on the Southwest Freeway at Shepherd, weather permitting. You see all the new ceramic car wash cleaners on TV now, but John Gray at Gulf Coast Auto Shield has been using ceramic coatings on Houston's most expensive cars for years, and he'll tell you that nothing beats the real thing. Gulf Coast Auto Shield installs a coating over your paint that actually comes with a warranty. If you just picked up your Lambo, your Aston Martin, Porsche, Ferrari, any other exotic car, chances are your car will have company that have already found Gulf Coast Auto Shield. Now, you don't have to own an exotic. Maybe you got a truck, an SUV, or even an older vehicle that needs a little love. Well, let John Gray give it a look and give you an estimate on refurbishing that paint and making your vehicle look new again. How about getting a gift certificate for the wife's birthday or anniversary from Gulf Coast Auto Shield and tell her, honey, I know you love your car, so why don't we get it looking new again? It'll be the best gift ever, one that she'll never forget. Get hold of John Gray at gcautoshield.com or give him a call, 832-264-0670. Gulf Coast Auto Shield.
Celebrating 10 years of award-winning car talk, it's the In Wheel Time Car Show, your weekly go-to all things automotive place. Coming up, Jenna Jong, Houston auto enthusiast and watch designer. We're going to get into that in just a minute. Conrad has his car clinic, and I'll have this week's automotive news. Howdy, along with Mike Out of This World Mars, King Conrad DeLong, preparing for his vacation. And the fabulous, we need more Jeff Zekin.
Oh, my goodness, here we go.
I'm Don Armstrong. Here we go. So glad that you could join us. You know what? The sunshine is out at the moment.
Is it?
Yes. I'm not going to jinx it because it already has been jinxed by the weatherman. We got more rain coming this afternoon.
Oh, boy.
But in the meantime and in between time, don't wash your car today. Instead, go and visit Jenna Jang, Houston auto enthusiast and watch designer. Jenna, hey, it's great to see you. Thanks so much for joining us. Oh, I need to turn you on. There you go. Well,
Thanks for having me.
Well, thank you. So, Jenna, you're here in the Houston area.
Yes, I am.
And a car enthusiast. What kind of car do you have?
Well, I'm currently saving up for a Vantage. I don't have it yet, but hopefully I'll have it in the next.
Yeah, saving up for an Aston Martin.
You just got Conrad's attention.
Yeah, you got my attention.
Well, that must be nice.
Stunningly beautiful cars.
Yes.
I love them.
Yeah. So
Yes.
do you go to many car meets or cruise-ins or anything?
Well, I've been to quite a few this past year. Most of the time, it's been shut down for the last year because of COVID,
Yeah.
but things are starting up again. I went to a Lamborghini meet just a couple of weeks ago and heading off to Cars and Coffee this coming weekend.
Gotcha. Well, next weekend, next Sunday, on the 13th, we, along with a lot of other people in the Houston area, are going to a big car show called Wheelchairs for Warriors, and it's going to be at the Bayway Chevy store in Pearland, and we'd love for you to stop by and say hello to us. We're going to be doing a special broadcast from there from 2 to 5 The show itself goes 2 to 6.
We're all looking at each other. What?
Yeah. Well, Mr. Mars down here, he holds up 5 fingers or 6 fingers. I don't know what he's doing, but at any rate, so we're going to be there. We'd love to see you.
Absolutely.
All
I'd
right.
love to check you out.
So we also hear, rumor has it, that you own a watch company.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yes.
A watch company, and you're a watch designer, and the name of the company is Olympus Watch Company. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Correct.
So basically what we do is we take supercars that have been salvaged and we strip the parts that can no longer be used, and we turn them into Swiss handmade watches, and they're one of a kind, and they're designed with the original car, the donor car, in mind. So we're inspired by the car, and we're also made with the car.
How in the world
cool.
did you come up with this? What a brilliant idea.
Thank you. Well, I've always liked cars ever since high school, and I've always liked watches. But what really struck me with this idea was during 2017, when Harvey hit. I was sitting at home by myself, and I saw a news segment talking about how badly the automotive industry was affected here in Houston, Texas.
Right.
And I really wanted to do something with those cars because they were getting sent away. And anyone who really appreciates the cars and loves the design and the stories behind it know that these pieces serve a lot more than just a utility function. They have a story behind it. They have someone who is very passionate, a designer, a manufacturer, people that worked on the cars behind it, and these stories would get tossed away if someone doesn't come in and really preserve them, especially in the coming years. So we wanted to do that, and what we do is we process these parts and we treat them and vacuum seal them so they last you for decades to come. And these are timepieces that you can hand off to your grandchildren, to your grandchildren's children, and you can continue to tell the story of, for example, the watch that we have right now, which is a Lamborghini Gallardo, to your kids and tell them this is a very iconic car of our generation, and tell them the story behind it.
So, for instance, if you design a watch with the Lamborghini parts, what part? You're certainly not using the bumper to make the watch. What parts do you use inside the watch from the car?
We mainly use the body. The body is very easy to work with, but we can also, in the future, strip the seats down, the leather seats, and use them and turn them into watch straps. We can use the chassis, and practically any piece of the car that's malleable that we can use, we're going to put it in a watch.
How cool is that?
That is so cool.
Do you reach out to the original owner of the vehicle to give him first dibs on their watch?
So we also have a one-off line that we're working on right now, and people can come in with their own cars and parts that they no longer want to put in their car, and we'll turn that into a watch that's fully customizable by them. And this serves really well for the community with cars that maybe no longer run anymore, but it has a lot of sentimental value to them. For example, their grandfather owned it, and then we can design it specifically for them and have them have that as a keepsake for them in the future.
Now, are you working with somebody to help design these watches? Or are you doing this all on your own?
Well, I'm designing the watches, so I have a degree in design. I studied design in New York, Milan, and London. So after coming back, I started this own company where I do the design work. But I also work with engineers and a Swiss manufacturer. So the guy that I'm partnering up with right now, he's been in the watch industry for over 30 years. He worked with VDOAG and a plethora of very, very high-end Swiss brands during his tenure. So now he started his own production line, and our production line, I'm very proud of it. It's approved by the Swiss Federation, which means that the quality rivals that of Rolex, of Patek, and all the other big brands that you know. And so your watch is in good hands.
What? I have a question. Conrad just pulled it up on your site. Very, very beautiful product. Why stop at watches? Why not do a wall clock or maybe like a grandfather type tall clock for a room?
Or a big Flavor Flav watch I could wear.
No, not that. But going into other genres like a grandfather clock or a wall clock or something of that nature, because
there's lots of metal in a car to do something like that.
I was going to donate an Oldsmobile Rally to you.
A yellow one.
A yellow one.
Yeah.
Their jacket.
But I'm sure. But I mean, this has all sorts of possibilities and ramifications.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're going to design it out of a body part,
you could do other things. Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea at all. I was working with one of my mentors, and he said the same thing. He said you need to make sunglasses, you need to make belt buckles, and so on and so forth. And we're starting off with this collection, but the possibilities are endless. And I'm going to take your grandfather clock up, and I'm going to try to make one.
Well,
he needs 10% for the idea.
Yeah. Well, the other thing is that in that regard, they sell a bajillion of those garage clocks that have Chevrolet on it or Corvette on it. Some of them are neon lit. I mean, some of them are more expensive, more detailed. But I mean, I guarantee you that every car guy that in the world wouldn't love to have his car on the wall.
And she could do it. Yeah, absolutely. She could do that.
Yeah. So
I can 100% do it.
I know that you could. So are you selling these all online, or do you have a retail store that you're selling these through?
Right now, we're trying to sell them all online. As a matter of fact, this collection right now is a Kickstarter launch. So we're taking pre-orders, and it's starting on July 15th. Mark your calendars. The first 100 customers to sign up will get a 55% discount off retail.
Wow.
So these watches retail for $1,000. But if you're the first 100 to back the project, you will get it for $450, which is pretty much unheard of for a Swiss handmade watch, especially in this caliber.
How long does it take to make one?
Ooh, everything is hand assembled, so it takes a little bit longer than normal, but we're looking at a 6-month lead time.
Okay.
So that include processing the car into something you can use?
Well, Conrad's got to get it started first.
Yeah.
Well, I also noticed that at least the caseback specs on your website, the VIN number of the donor vehicle is engraved on the back of the watch. How neat is that?
That's cool.
Yes, absolutely. And we're also going to add a little bonus to it. We're going to add a story of the car and the QR code, which is going to be on the authenticity card. You can scan it, and you can watch a video that talks about the story behind the car in the watch that you got.
That is so cool. And just in time for Christmas.
Hey!
Father's Day.
Yeah. No, well, the July 15th order taking, I think we'll be doing good to get it by Christmas. But, I mean, I'm thinking that is just so cool. So what do you consider? I mean, I'm a Corvette guy. Can you do something for me?
With fiberglass?
Absolutely. Yeah, you know what? If there's a will, there's a way. I'm gonna make it work. So right now we also are looking at a McLaren, which is made from fiberglass, and we're working on ways to make that work for us. So anything, as long as even carbon fiber, I think we can try to make it work.
So all the ones I've seen the pictures of, they're all men's watches. Do you?
Yes.
What about the ladies?
Yes. So I've been getting that question a lot lately because they want this to be like a Valentine's Day thing where they get a couple's watch. And it is in the works. I'm going to tell you that it is in the works. And we're going to make something for ladies, hopefully in the coming months.
Well, I was just curious because generally the ladies' watch is a little more, it's a little smaller, a little more dainty. Delicate's a good word for it. So that, it might be a little harder to build it like you're building like a men's watch that's generally probably 2 or even 3 times
with
the
the
size.
Flava Flav style.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's the Conrad side, yeah.
Honey, where's my car? Oh, here's a watch.
That's right. Here's your Porsche right here.
Yeah. Well, this is really exciting, and what's even more exciting about it is that you're here in Houston.
Yeah, that's cool too.
I am in Houston. Yes.
What a very cool.
So
idea.
do you obviously you've got a factory or a manufacturing facility here in Houston for these?
No,
well, in order to treat the car, we have our facilities are in Texas, but we ship the car parts over to Switzerland to get them finished up, and then they'll get placed into the casebacks, and
well,
they're
that's
going to
an
get completed there.
That's an interesting question. So the way you said that, so let's say it's a hood, So you actually ship the hood to Switzerland, or do you formulate the parts that you need for the watches and ship
them
that?
pieces of it.
So we treat the hood here. So we strip the paint off and we create that like nice patina and we make sure everything's all right, flatten it out and then punch the holes out. And then we ship that to Switzerland to get everything
assembled,
treated in a way where it's very, very precise.
So it's like a raw material going over.
Exactly.
Okay,
And
okay.
they demand a precision of up to 0.5 millimeters. So everything has to be perfect, impeccable before it goes into the watch. And I don't know if we have that kind of facility here in Houston, but they definitely have that in Switzerland.
Oh, well, I'm sure there is somewhere here in Houston, but I'm sure Switzerland's much more designed to deal with that because they've been building high-quality watches for so long.
We could do a remote from her place in Switzerland.
Yeah, that's
we could go to the factory and check it out.
We're always looking for a road trip. Yeah, Jenny, it is great.
Switzerland is beautiful. Yeah, you love it there.
Yeah.
So the pre-order, you were talking about the pre-order beginning July the 15th. Is that done on your website?
Yes.
Oh,
So if you go on our
Conrad's already
website-
checked it out.
Conrad just ordered one.
Join the release club.
Oh, okay.
Yes, if you go on our website, you can sign up for the email newsletter, and we will give you updates leading up to the release date, which is July 15th. And if you make sure that you're the first 100, be sure that you have it saved on your calendar because we have quite a few signups on our email list already. And if you're one of the first ones, you get the best deal.
If you got the money to pay for it when you get the phone call from you guys, you're
Well,
in
as
line.
they say, you got the money, honey. I got the time.
Yeah, they don't have any money for singing lessons, but they might have some money for a really, really nice watch.
Jenna, thank you so much for joining us today.
Awesome idea. How cool is
it truly is. Auto enthusiast, watch designer, and it's the Olympus Watch Company. Go online and check it out. We're looking forward to seeing the first one.
Yeah.
And when you get the one back, give us a call. We want to put it on the air.
And we want to see your Vantage when you get your Vantage as well.
We'll make time for you. We'll make time.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
We
Time to
appreciate
clock
it.
out.
All right, time now for Conrad's Car Clinic. What are we talking about
Well,
today?
this is also going to be an evolution of the 3 week ago. Remember, I started the 10 driving tips to stay safe on the road.
How'd that work out for you?
We got through 5 of them. Wear a seatbelt always, never drive distracted, never drive under the influence of alcohol, drugs, or medication, make adjustments for weather conditions, and don't speed. Those are the first 5. The next 5 are avoid driving when you're exhausted. A big driving problem is people who are behind the wheel extended periods of time and they kind of start dozing off and wandering around the lanes. Well, if you feel like you're getting there, pull off and take a 10, 15-minute power nap. It's amazing how refreshing that can be. Also, tip number 7 is give pedestrians the right of way at crosswalks, because by law you have to. You can't just mow them over, even though they step out in front of you. But they have the right when they get out in a crosswalk, and you have the responsibility to stop.
Does that work for the same thing with a guy with a big lawn blower? I had a guy step off the curb in front of me on the feeder of Highway 90A.
Oh, gosh.
We're all doing 60 miles an hour, and he steps off and gets ticked at me for going past him at 50 because I've slowed down. Are you kidding?
Can't you
I
put
want to
like
slap him.
The little people on the side of your fender like they used to do
Like counting kids in the back window.
Yeah.
Always stop for school buses when their lights are flashing, and you have to stop both directions.
Right.
And the only time you don't have to stop is when there is a median,
A divided
highway, not 5 lanes with a turn lane in the middle. You still have to stop at that. But if there's a grass median divided highway, then the other direction can continue to go on. So. Keep a spare tire and a working jack in your car. Well, that's 2 of them I'm not going to do.
And this is your segment.
And even if you had it, you couldn't get to it.
My Corvette has no spare and it has no jack.
You have an inflatable. You have a can of inflator stuff.
No.
Oh, it's supposed to have a can of inflator stuff.
No, it's the run flat tires.
The run flats?
Run flats.
Okay. Well, run flats drive like heck.
They are awful.
Yes, they are.
I've had to do it once.
Are you sure they're run flats?
No.
No, they're supposed to be. They were from the factory, run flats. Do you know the C5, when it was first released by Chevrolet, came with a tire road hazard warranty. Even if you hit something in the road and damage the tire, General Motors would replace the tire for you for free. Do you know they never told anybody that on purpose?
Well, I wouldn't either, yeah.
Well, and then number 10 is take a defensive driving course. Defensive driving courses can give you a discount on your insurance. And
Have you ever taken one of those?
Yes, I have.
I took one at a
I
comedy
used to
store.
take one once a year.
My God.
Took one at a comedy store, and one of the
I took one at a
examples
comedy
was
store, too.
the person was going down to Galveston. They were towing their big race boat, and they got pulled over by 90 miles an hour and a 50, and I raised my hand to say, was it a speedboat?
Oh, gosh.
I got extra credit.
Well, and one of the things we're going to offer all of our followers is after the show today, about 15 minutes after the show, there's going to be a link posted for drivesafeonline.org, and my company is going to pay get you a 50% discount for online driving course. And it's just, you don't even have to go to a comedy club anymore. You can just take an online driving course.
Anymore.
Does the state of
They don't
Texas
even
accept
have
that?
Yes, this is a state of Texas approved.
I haven't seen any. I think all of the in-class
It's
things
gone
are
away.
all.
Everything's online.
it's
right?
all-
It's all online.
But, BG Products will get you a half-price discount on it.
Pay the ransom.
I thought I was going to
That's-
need that this morning.
Well, you need it every morning
No,
with the
no,
on-ramp acceleration test.
I saw the lights come on behind us, and I was hoping the guy next to me was the one that was going to get it.
Oh, Lord.
That's the 10 driving tips to stay safe on the road.
What were the first 5?
Yeah, no, we don't want to go back. Oh, Lord. Thank you very much, sir. We appreciate that.
Yeah.
I got a couple of stories that I want to get in since we have a little extra time here.
I could have gone longer.
No.
I could have gone longer.
I could always go longer.
U.S. traffic deaths soared dramatically after coronavirus
Don can't go
lockdowns
longer.
ended in 2020, hitting
Not
the
anymore.
highest yearly total since 2007.
Really?
As more Americans engaged in unsafe behavior on U.S. roads, according to the National Highway Traffic Safety
Wearing their
Administration.
mask over their face.
For all of 2020, 38,680 people died on U.S. roads. That's up 7.2%, or nearly
That's a lot.
2,600 more than in 2019, even though Americans drove 13% fewer miles, preliminary data shows. The fatality rate hit 1.37 deaths per 100 million miles, the highest figure since 2006. What's going on here?
That's mind-boggling because if you remember, during the beginning of COVID, all the way through,
Nobody was on the roads.
the roads were empty. So I guess the only ones who were on the roads were nuts.
Well, they're driving faster was part of the problem. I read some stuff on that.
Well, because there was nobody on the road.
Because there's nobody on the road, so the accidents are worse.
Deaths involving motorists not wearing seat belts
I always
were
wear
up
belts.
15%. Speeding-related deaths jumped by 10%, and fatal crashes involving alcohol rose 9%.
I'm good on 2 out of 3.
Yeah, that's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's
Yeah,
crazy. It's
for
crazy.
For as empty as the roads were,
Correct.
to see a 7% growth in fatalities.
I tell you what, I saw a lot of one-car accidents with people unable to control the speed.
Yeah.
Run into a wall, run into things. Crazy.
Yeah, and if you drink too much liquor, you lose your hearing in your right eye.
Only Jeff would know that. Just saying. Tesla Incorporated's Model 3 sedan was stripped of its top pick status by Consumer Reports, which cited the temporary loss of automatic emergency braking and other safety features. The influential nonprofit consumer research organization said Thursday it removed the designation after Tesla ditched radar as a supplement to its camera-based sensors, a move that temporarily suspended several advanced safety systems. Consumer Reports said its scoring of the Model 3 dropped by 3 points to 75, but it was still good enough to retain its recommended status.
See,
But
that added to the 7% growth.
Yep.
and I would think that a lot had to do with this recent rash of people trying to get out and have their car drive itself,
Right.
which it's not equipped to do, from the back seat.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, the autonomous driving isn't here yet. And
But
Tesla promoted the fact that the car would drive itself, especially out on the highway. They just wanted you to stay close to it.
Yeah, but it's like the old story of the guy in the RV that puts it in cruise control and gets up and goes back and makes a sandwich.
Get a beer.
May 27th, Tesla filed applications with the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office to use its T logo design and 2 other iterations of its Tesla stylized logo for use in the, roll the drum please, in the food industry.
Ooh.
All 3 applications are for restaurant services, pop-up restaurant services, self-service restaurant services, takeout restaurant services. They are filed under a provision of trademark law indicating that Tesla intends to use the mark but has not yet done so. If the application is approved, the registration will not take effect until it is used. Indeed, Elon Musk first revealed plans to launch a tequila in 2018 after registering for the Tesla-quila trademark.
You gotta admit, the man is genius and he knows how to make money.
Yes, he is.
I mean, he really is a genius.
I know. I agree totally, 100%.
So they're going to use an autonomous delivery system to deliver your tequila and tacos.
Or your autonomous driving vehicle, you can sit in the back seat with your tray and do shots and have nachos.
That's it.
No, it's got to be tacos. It has to start with the T.
And if you need to know more about this, ask your pharmacist
or tamales.
Tacos and tamales and tequila. There you go.
I asked my pharmacist a lot more questions back in my 20s
Yeah,
and 30s
but he's talking
than I
about
do
during
today.
business hours.
Yeah, but your pharmacist was in the back of a 67 Chevelle.
Your pharmacist was
or a
under
VW,
Hey, man, let me
VW bus.
check this stuff out. It's a 2-hit wonder.
Send your cards and letters too.
You know,
Info at InWheelTime.
we've decided that this show is only 3 hours long. Thank God for everybody. And Elon Musk said the chip shortage is wreaking havoc on Tesla's supply chain and blamed companies ordering more microcontrollers than they need, much like consumers hoarded toilet paper in the early days of the pandemic.
Hey.
Quote,
Oh, gosh.
our biggest challenge is supply chain, especially microcontroller chips. Never seen anything like it. He said, fear of running out is causing every company to overorder, like toilet paper shortage, but at epic scale.
Do you think that they're cutting off catalytic converters in the middle of the night? Do you think people are going to be stealing
You know,
chips?
what's up with that? This is the second go-round of that. Is it just the publicity of it?
There's value in the
I
cutout.
understand
A lot
that,
of
but this was a thing 5, 6, 7 years ago. And now all of a sudden it's a thing again.
Well, now because the noble metals that are inside of it, the palladium and such, is worth even more than it was 5 years ago.
Did you ever see anything at the Palladium?
No, I want to play at the Palladium.
Do you want to play at the Palladium?
I do.
I can't believe they've got a metal called Palladium.
And Red Rock. I want to go to Red Rock.
I've been to Red Rock.
I want to play there.
I've been there. And it's Red Rocks, I think.
Red Rocks.
But
oh, my
whatever.
goodness.
It's in
Here
Colorado.
we go.
They had recreational.
And let me tell you something. It was in abundance when I went there. And
It was in a bud?
It was in a bud.
In a bud.
It was truly an adventure. I can promise you that. Well, I guess
Thanks, Katie.
I didn't partake.
But you went with Katie, didn't
I
you?
did go with Katie.
Katie didn't partake either.
No, she did not.
No.
Not this time.
Oh, my goodness. Here we go.
Here we go. Well, it's time now to take a break, and we will be right back to wrap up today's show after these brief messages.
We all know about aftermarket and online parts stores, and each one has something to offer, but they don't offer original factory parts. That's where Bayway comes in. For original factory parts, visit the Bayway stores first. Give them a call or stop by. Bayway Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, Bayway Chevy, and Bayway Lincoln carry a complete line of parts for the do-it-yourselfer. Keeping your newer classic original means a lot, and you can count on these fully stocked parts departments to help keep it that way. Bayway Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, Bayway Chevy, and Bayway Lincoln, keeping it original. Tailpipes and Tacos is Houston's premier cruise-in, and you're invited to join in. Whether you're a cruiser or spectator, Tailpipes and Tacos is the place to enjoy made-to-order breakfast tacos, fresh coffee, and mingle with Houston's fun car people. Mark your calendar for Saturday, June 19th for Tailpipes and Tacos at the Lupe Tortilla Mexican Restaurant in Katy, 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. Tailpipes and Tacos is free, and everyone is invited. You'll see collector cars, hot rods, customs, magnificent originals, and resto mods. Cars from all over Southeast Texas cruise in and show off in a friends and family event at the Lupe Tortilla Mexican Restaurant on the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard, just south of I-10 in Katy. Drag racer, car enthusiast, and Lupe founder Stan Holt brings you Houston's hottest cruise-in, Tailpipes and Tacos, Saturday, June 19th, 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. at Lupe's in Katy. The In Wheel Time Car Show will be there too. Tailpipes and Tacos, Saturday morning, June 19th, 8 to 11 a.m. at Lupe's in Katy. Inside the Loop, visit Tailpipes and Tacos on the Southwest Freeway at Shepherd, weather permitting. You see all the new ceramic car wash cleaners on TV now, but John Gray at Gulf Coast Auto Shield has been using ceramic coatings on Houston's most expensive cars for years, and he'll tell you that nothing beats the real thing. Gulf Coast Auto Shield installs a coating over your paint that actually comes with a warranty. If you just picked up your Lambo, your Aston Martin, Porsche, Ferrari, any other exotic car, chances are your car will have company that have already found Gulf Coast Auto Shield. Now, you don't have to own an exotic. Maybe you got a truck, an SUV, or even an older vehicle that needs a little love. Well, let John Gray give it a look and give you an estimate on refurbishing that paint and making your vehicle look new again. How about getting a gift certificate for the wife's birthday or anniversary from Gulf Coast Auto Shield and tell her, honey, I know you love your car, so why don't we get it looking new again? It'll be the best gift ever, one that she'll never forget. Get hold of John Gray at gcautoshield.com or give him a call, 832-264-0670. Gulf Coast Auto Shield.
Well, that's it for this episode of the In Wheel Time Car Show. When you're on Facebook, please give us a like. Tell your friends about us and share our junk. You'll get Conrad's unicorn hunting features all week long with all things automotive. The In Wheel Time Car Show streams on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and on InWheelTime.com. Podcasts are available from your favorite podcast outlet. A special thanks to all of our guests today. The In Wheel Time Chief Engineer is the fabulous David Ainsley. Our Marketing Manager and Video Technical Director, we need more Jeff Zekin. For Booking Agent, Podcast Man, Mike Out of This World Mars, his royalty, King Conrad DeLong, Don Armstrong here. Be sure and join us each and every Saturday for our 3-hour live broadcast across a multitude of audio and video streaming platforms right here on the Spoke and Mirrors Network.
Yep.
Today's show is produced by New Bomb Turk and the rest of the Hollywood Knights. Mark your calendar to join us for our special broadcast from the Wheelchair for Warriors Car Show at Bayway Chevrolet on Sunday, June 13th from 2 to 5 p.m. Or better yet, come on out and give us a support. So long for now. Have a super deluxe weekend, and we will see you right here, same place, same bat channel, same time.
Oh, yeah.
Next Saturday, 8 to 11 a.m. We'll see you then. Have a good week.